Hello. My name is Brad. Welcome to tonight's episode of Whiskey Dice. I will be your dungeon master for the evening, and as always, I'm joined by the stars of the show. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm not a star.
What's up?
You are a star. You're a beautiful fucking bright star. So, disclaimer, and sought after information. We call it Whiskey Dice because all the adults indulge in a bit of bourbon. I go out every week and buy a different bottle of bourbon that the adults indulge in, and today we're doing a High Rye Old Soul, which is pretty fun. Those that are remote are screwed. Ian doesn't get to taste it. Shawn doesn't either. Shawn's drinking whiskey.
Is that what's
or moonshine? No, that's just
It's
that's
larceny.
Well. That's my well stuff.
How dare you? It's good.
We did larceny a couple weeks ago, actually. But so the disclaimer part. Alex's daughter and my daughter are here. They don't drink. Okay.
Right, kids?
None for you, children.
Children, you don't drink.
I don't drink.
You drink sodas.
Yep.
The alcohol is for us.
What drink did you
And
shoot
please
with?
consume responsibly.
the,
know when to stop.
Cherry Coke?
Yada yada.
Yeah,
all
Don't
that.
drink and
I
drive.
have Dr.
The
I
whole
love the disclaimer that Shawn throws in.
I know.
No one to stop.
Yada. But yeah, I mean the premise of the show is that we've been playing D&D together for nigh on a decade, and this whole thing is, we're really serious about our D&D and RP and stories, but then we start drinking bourbon, and toward the end of the sessions, the adults get a little wild. It's fun. It's a good time. But yeah, so welcome to tonight's episode of Whiskey Dice. This is Alora, Chapter 2, titled Veiltouched. Before I begin, does anyone have any questions and such? Is everyone good to roll? Anybody need anything? Anyone need to potty? We do have the girls here tonight. They weren't here for session 1, yes?
There was, she meant to message you, but I got sidetracked.
You good?
Background.
Heritage background?
Yeah, elemental, whatever. The element one.
I can,
Yeah, it's
I can look it up.
Yeah. She needs a cantrip. I know that much.
Okay. Well, if she wants to go ahead and grab one, we can. You guys
it
can
was
work on that
at,
real quick before we start.
At
Okay,
your
elemental
discretion.
affinity. Connected to one's Alora elemental realms. Choose an element, fire, water, earth, air. You can cast a cantrip associated with the element. DM's choice. Once per long rest.
Oh, I get
So-
to pick a.
So
I get to pick the,
which element
the
did
one.
you want?
I'll let you pick the element. Earth. Didn't expect.
Mold-earth.
Mold earth.
I was saying
Yeah,
that's the only one that I can
that's like
think of
the
off the top of my
only
head.
one.
Go with Mold Earth. I think that's a good
that
idea.
Is the only.
That's a
Yeah.
fun one.
That is a
It
fun one.
is. You can make 2 bricks before the third one falls apart. You learned this.
Yeah.
This is good.
You can use
Yeah,
it.
This is
and,
good.
You can use it as like.
You can also bury your
Steps,
enemies
kinda.
if they don't move fast enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bury your enemies.
Bury
This is
them.
good. I like this. This is
Get
good.
earth tremor.
I'm not trying to. Well, I mean,
okay.
I am facing you and sticking my tongue out, but I was licking Ian's screen.
Oh.
We were talking earlier in Discord about. Never mind. Armpit fetishes.
Oh yes, that's a
It's a
fun
thing. It's a
fun
thing,
little
apparently.
Reddit find.
Yeah.
thing.
In
That's
Indiana, where they're
disgusting.
at. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh, right.
Disgusting state.
Good intro. Let's play some D&D.
Can I have something haired or not haired?
That's a fair
That
fucking
we did
question.
not go that far. Did not go. I found a map
they
of weird
friendly?
fetishes per
Or
state.
are they
You know what?
So are they Miley
something athletes?
Cyrus or
Like, where are we at here?
T-Swift? Like, different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, but it is.
Well, I mean, Taylor does run the world right now, so I'm guessing
Excuse
it's
me.
that avenue.
Who run the world?
Are
Taylor.
you just
I'm having too much
tickling her
fun.
chin?
Yes. Yes. I'll have to mess with their cams a little bit more. But for tonight, it'll be okay, because I don't want to walk back over to the computer and crop it. So, are we ready to begin, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, sorry.
All right. So, as I said, this is Alora Reborn, Chapter 2, titled Veiltouched. Hinting at things and stuff. I guess a bit of a recap is in order. I'm not used to being here at the table with you guys. I'm usually in front of my computer, like, standing. I don't like sitting. This is odd. But we began the adventure last time with 2 individuals traveling together from the Isle of Ophius, Alex Dawnkeeper and Everett Whitlock. They were in search of a paladin of the Triadic Conclave, specifically of the Order of the Ascendant Flame. He's stationed in Duskendale, and that's where they went. They took a boat through the inner bays of the Fringe Lands and made it to Wraithul, and then they went over Aliandal's Crossing just to get to Duskendale in time to see that Sir Cedric had left. You guys followed him all the way up the Lindahl Trail. I almost forgot the name of my trail. To the Eyelit Warf, where you rented a boat from a shiplord from Port near Serenity, and you went after Sir Cedric, finding him on the small island of Cedric Gore. And you went up into the crest of Eclipse. Sorry, Shawn, I thought you were frozen. I was looking at you so intently.
No,
I apologize.
Focused.
You're so focused. I love that.
Yes.
But yeah, you two went up into the crest of Eclipse, where you found your quarry, Sir Cedric, Chamberlain, and High Lord Brooke of Cedric Gore. That's kind of where the story started. You guys found him, and you gave him a writ of duty, explaining that you, Alex Dawnkeeper, were on a bit of a holy quest to learn and be enlightened about faith, that of the Triadic Conclave, to try and understand your connection with your own god, Caleb. We haven't really delved too much into your backstory, but eventually we will. And you, Mr. Everett, we'll talk about that later. You're there for moral support as a friend of Mr. Alex Dawnkeeper.
Good job, Alex.
So funny. Whenever you found Sir Cedric, it was during a bit of a yearly ritual where wardens of Cedric Gore come up to the crest of Eclipse, and they swap out further wardens that have been within the only prison within the realm of Alora. There are jailhouses and things in different cities, but this is the only prison, as the Triadic Conclave really, they indulge in swift justice for those that go against the creeds of the Triumvirate. In doing so, you witnessed, for the first time, a god beast being summoned, and you found out that within the great god beast Night River is the Umbrelescent prison, of which, Cedric, you ventured to yearly to either take prisoners, or once you spoke with Rook over the years, to wait for something. A bit of a spark. You were waiting for a key, per se. You heard tale that maybe one of the 13 was locked within the Umbrelescent prison, and you waited year after year, several years in a row, for her to walk forth. As you were taken aback by meeting with Alex and Everett, and seeing that you've been given yet another quest on top of all the other pilgrimages that you have on the docket.
Busy man.
Yeah. High Lord Vrook turned you to see that there was not a prisoner, but a woman that walked out last from the Umbrelescent as Night River descended into the bays below, and that's where you met Jophiel. You had her staff that was given to you by Vrook whenever he ventured into the Umbrelescent prison years before. And whenever you touched the staff, each of you were given a bit of a vision. And in that vision, it showed things of an era long past that didn't make a ton of sense to any of you because you didn't live that life. But Jophiel, you felt a connection to it. You lived it before. The thing is Jophiel knows her name, and this is a bit of a outside of the box, a look inside of what's going on. Jophiel has severe amnesia. Her memory, she's like a small child, not a small child, a young child trying to find her footing in life, remembering things bits and pieces at a time. And I'm just saying this out loud to kind of give you guys an idea of why she is playing her character as it is, because she doesn't, it's not that she doesn't understand, it's that she's living in that era from that memory because it's all she has. So, you found Jophiel. High Lord Vrook, seeing you four come together, advised that you didn't leave the Isle of Cedric Gore this night because Night River was going to tear the inner bays asunder. So you spent the night, you shared stories with Vrook, you spoke to one another, and at some point toward the end of the night, Mrs. Sentry here, Jophiel, who doesn't sleep, was it you that was, sentrying the entire evening? Eventually, an interesting figure made its way into your camp and showed itself as something dark and diabolical, and it attacked you. You guys quickly dispatched it, but whatever it was just seems to beckon or hearken to something. The great darkness just outside of your vision. Things just seem different. And the campaign really started with the ushering in of the new era, the era of Twilight. Eventually, you went to your boat, which is called what, Sir Cedric?
Oleander.
You made it to Oleander. Mr. Alex Dawnkeeper and Everett Whitlock, you found that the ship that you rented was destroyed.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You guys,
Rented.
and you guys set sail back toward the Eyelit Warf, which is kind of the main entrance and societal hub of the Hooklands. It takes you down the Lindahl Trail to Duskendale, which was the first capital of Alora at one time, now replaced by Yardoon after the great calamity of the era of Voidwrath. There are a few other things that happened, of course, and if you want to find those out, you can go listen to the first session. So are we ready to begin? All right.
Let's do it.
So girls, I will get to you momentarily. We've talked plenty about your kind of backstory and role within the story, Sir Cedric as well. And your introductions will come swiftly. Don't worry. But for the rest of you, as you're sailing on Oleander, we'll say that it's probably 10 or 11 in the morning, because you guys woke up early and went to the ship. It's a beautiful day, only slightly overcast around the mountains of Aliandal's Crossing as the wharf comes into view. The Eyelit Warf is quaint and yet bustling. Its docks situated along the serene inner bays of Alora. It serves as a bit of a nexus for travelers entering the Fringelands and heading to Duskendale or Wraithul. The wharf is distinguished by its iconic Emerald Lighthouse, a beacon of stone and gem veiled in barnacles, guiding seafarers through the misty embrace of the bay to this place. Amidst the salt-kissed air and creaking of the wooden docks, a tapestry of life unfolds daily as you're kind of pulling in and seeing all this. There are stalls that line this kind of flat loading area where local vendors hawk their goods to travelers, from fresh fish or invigorating seaweed slop or unique general goods. The Eyelit Warf has just enough for those passing through to venture into the Hooklands. Amid the lively wharf is a ship that dominates the seascape, one that Sir Cedric you know well, and Alex and Everett you know well now because you rented a boat from this gentleman. The Wind Rider, known to Sir Cedric and recently Alex and Everett, as I said, you rented a small vessel from this ship lord. The captain of the Wind Rider, Captain Eldon, an elder elf with uneven hips, striking green eyes and silver hair kept in a long braid. Eldon walks with pride when he's near the sea, especially when he's on his ship. Even if his gait is a bit uneven, you know. His deep blue coat seems to shimmer near the water, and as you are pulling in and you are docking, Sir Cedric, a man comes forward to help you with the rigging onto the wooden dock to kind of situate Oleander. You know this man as Brother Marcus. He's not an official member of the Triadic Conclave, but he is a devout follower, as you know, of Eliel. And Brother Marcus, he always comes to you seeking information or advice and news of the realm. So as you guys are pulling in and as the session starts, Brother Marcus looks at you, Cedric, as he helps you tie the ship and secure it to the inner dock. And, afternoon, Sir Cedric. Do you walk in the light of the pillars, or do you find yourself burdened by the shadows?
I always walk in the light of the pillars, Marcus.
This is good news. Good news indeed. And he kind of takes your hand and helps you across. The rest of you, if you would take it. If not, you can do as you will. But he does seem to be a very lively chap.
I take his hand as I get off.
He kind of gives you a swift nod. What about you, Everett and Alex?
I'm good.
You hop over?
Yeah. I'm pretty dexterous, I guess.
Yeah. Alex?
I would be talking into like the little stone that he used in the first session to like
Yeah.
relay my introduction. Alex. Oh. Hi. Are you here to help me off? I don't need it, thank you. And I just hop off.
He looks befuddled. Very befuddled as he's trying to understand what's going on. But each of you you get off Oleander onto the docks, and as I said, there's a great many stalls here in kind of the loading unloading area. There's only one major ship that seems to kind of decorate the bay, and then the big iconic landmark is the lighthouse itself, the barnacle-covered emerald lighthouse. Brother Marcus does look at you, Sir Cedric, and before you make way in any direction, he does say, Eldon did want to speak with you before you left, but I've taken good care of your horse and wagon as well. I just wanted you to know that, of course. Yeah.
Thank you, Marcus. You always do such a good job.
Wait.
Thank you.
Sir Everett?
Yes. Well, I'm
That's
not really
the
a
ship-
sir, but...
Semantics. That ship. We rented the ship from that guy, right?
That looks an awful lot like his ship, yes.
Oh, fuck.
We should probably go tell him what happened, right?
We got we got the extra insurance on the ship, right?
Probably
Sure
the same way that you
did.
dropped the anchor.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
what about that? Yeah.
we should we should at least say something. I mean, a god beast.
What are we
tore
going
to
to say?
shreds.
A god beast destroyed the ship? How
Yeah.
often does that happen?
Who did you rent the ship from?
It is the truth, although it does sound far-fetched. You aren't lying to them.
Do you know this man?
Yes?
Cool, you can vouch for us.
The captain of the Wind Rider, whose name I
They're
didn't just
gesturing
forget.
over to an elven man near a grand ship.
No,
Steve?
I,
Steve
No.
Craig.
No, I don't
Craig?
but we should go to talk to him.
Should we?
Snuffleupagus.
it is better
You-
to get out in front of a problem than
You're
to be behind
missing
it.
a boat, correct? That you rented from him?
Well,
So you
yeah.
might need to pay compensation for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we though? I mean,
I mean,
Come, let's go.
oh, so you'll explain?
She walks over there.
I'll follow, Jophiel.
this can only go well.
So Alex and Everett, you watch as Jophiel and Sir Cedric just side by side go walking toward Eldon.
Why do I feel like they're throwing us under the wagon?
You
He
see,
does have a wagon. This might what's be going on.
you see at least 100 boxes and crates that are being loaded on to the Eldon's ship as you guys head that way. Excuse me. I did not mean to burp. As you guys head that way, I would like to transition a bit here. So, Indira and Elith. You walk next to Sir Cedric and this new figure, Jophiel. You also see Alex and Everett. It hasn't been your time to speak yet. You just sit, meandering, walking, talking to one another. You almost feel at times, for whatever reason, like you're small birds stuck in a cage. Just beyond some veil. As you're sitting and waiting for Sir Cedric to beckon you, as per usual. Each of you are speaking to one another. Why don't you two introduce your characters for us? Who would like to go first?
Okay, so my name is Indira Lightning Rain. I have long, white, wispy hair with gray eyes that are like stormy. I wear flowy clothes. And my skin is a bit translucent, but it looks humanoid.
Very cool. For clarification, what class are you playing?
Oh, I'm a bard.
Very cool. What about you, Eilith?
You see a elven woman with white wispy hair and like bright gold eyes and green leather armor. And she's always carrying blue flowers and has a ferret always on her side.
The small ferret kind of wraps itself around your right shoulder, reaching down here and there for the flowers that you always carry, trying to eat them, snatching them up into its maw. What class are you playing?
Ranger.
Ranger. Okay. As you two sit and speak with one another, which you've done on countless occasions, really getting to know one another. This day seems a little bit different. Unless beckoned by Sir Cedric, no one else really ever speaks to you. But this day you hear a voice. What do you got there? It's a cute little ferret. You hear from behind you. You don't see anything, you just hear a voice.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it?
Think I could have a flower?
No.
She's feisty, huh?
Sure.
You think you could play me a song?
No.
But why?
If you tell me who you are, I will.
I'll give you a persuasion check.
$11.
With an 11, like I said, you don't see anything, you just hear it, but it seems to get closer, the voice. You can call me Mordith. Do you like to sing or do you just like to play? Little one.
I just like to.
Do you grow them flowers yourself?
I didn't grow them.
I grow things. Roll for me, girls, each of you, a dice 6. What'd you get?
3.
A 3?
4.
You watch as before you and Dira, a small piece of melon kind of plops to the ground before you. It seems to be shimmering and changing in color. And then for you, Eilith, you see a peach that just kind of rolls out of nowhere, kind of right up to your foot. And the scent is very intoxicating, and it reminds you of home. Which is nice, because you haven't seen home in a while. Are you hungry?
Not really.
Fine then. As you of the party are walking toward said ship captain, there are a couple sets of footprints that join you. So Jophiel, Everett, and Alex, you kind of look off to the right, and from the side of the dock, you see two younger, well, how old are you guys?
I think I'm like 25.
You're very young for yourself, yeah.
Oh, I'm like 18.
All right, two very young women come running towards Sir Cedric, kind of from the side, very happy to see him, and they kind of join into the party. You're still about a good 20, 30 feet from the Windrider. So, Windrider?
The rider. of the
Wind
wind?
Runner?
Is he running or riding?
I know.
Does he ride or does he run?
I made a mistake.
Those are
The Windrider.
rider.
It is Wind Rider, okay.
I wrote it down two different ways like an idiot. So yeah, so you see, so Sir Cedric, it seems to be that moment. It just happens out of nowhere. These two women just show up sometimes. The rest of you didn't notice anything strange. Just two women kind of encroaching, but they seem to know Sir Cedric.
They look friendly enough.
It's so good to see you both.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah.
Oh, who are these young girls? Are they friends of yours?
They are. They're companions of mine.
You travel a lot with them?
I would say so. Enough. You can introduce yourselves. I don't want to speak for you, I suppose.
I'm Indira.
I'm Eyelit.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm Jophiel. It's nice to meet you both.
nice to meet you. I'm Everett. And this is Alex. Nudge him. Fucking hard in the ribs.
Oh, hi. I'm Alex. Yeah. Nice to meet you all.
Don't mind him. He's probably deep in thought on a very clever invention. Right now.
Yeah, I was actually thinking how to make the little rock thing that I have like bigger and like be able to like send in real time, but I'm still thinking through that right now.
I mean, have you ever thought of just making more of the one?
Well, this?
Yeah,
I just need two.
right. But you only have the one.
I have this other one too.
Oh, you do have to.
Wait, which is which? Hang on. I'll figure it out.
I hardly ever saw you pull out the one. I just assumed there was only one of them.
I clicked the one on the left. One
Oh
second.
my.
Hi, I'm Alex Dawnkeeper. Cool, this is the one I want. This needs to go away.
Yeah, just ignore him. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
He's quite crafty, as you two can see.
Very clever.
They think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just... Things come to me and I have to make them. Sort of by force? Kind of? Not really.
You're beckoned almost.
It's a beckon. That's a good way to put it. I'm not good with words. Words aren't my thing.
Words aren't for everyone, I suppose. You do have a way with them.
Some would call it a way. I would say like putting the wagon before the horse, as some would call it.
Well, let's I guess we should speak to Elder about the
Right.
About the ship.
the
boat.
ship
The
that
ship.
got destroyed in a tragic god beast accident. Yeah, we should.
I mean, it would be, I was kind of concerned that you all were so adamant about speaking to this man like immediately, but I didn't realize that you all are witnesses to this
Unfortunate accident.
tragic incident.
witnesses feels very forward in that context.
I mean, you witnessed
You
the
were
ship.
I
There
never
were-
saw such a ship, to be honest.
I mean,
How did we get
yeah,
here?
the night before.
Night
before when
before.
we set up camp, there was two ships.
There's two
Jophiel,
ships.
you
then
hear
there
kind
was
of an
one.
uneven gait of someone approaching. You turn and you see this elven man with crooked hips and this long kind of flowing blue cloak and piercing green eyes. And what ship are we talking about? It's good to see you, Sir Cedric.
You as well, of course, every time we meet.
Mr. Whitlock,
Good day.
Dawnkeeper.
Hi.
I'll get to you in a moment. And he smiles. It's good to see that you've made it back, Sir Cedric. Was your fishing trip exuberant?
It was eventful.
Seems that you've got quite a few mini catches here. These two, I didn't know if they were coming to kill you or if they were actually friends.
Friendly enough, at least. We're headed the same direction, you could say.
Interesting. Is this a recent release? And he gestures at Jophiel. I'm just kidding.
It is. It is. Actually, believe it or not.
Like, he says he's kidding, but he's taken aback as you say that? You in the prison.
Yes, I'm Jophiel. And you are?
Call me Eldon. And he shakes your hand.
Eldon. She shakes it back.
Of the Wind Rider.
Of the Wind Riders.
Same surname.
Is this your ship?
It is.
It's wonderful.
I appreciate that.
Are you a cargo ship? Or is she a cargo ship?
I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. We carry whatever the port near Serenity will give me to carry, as long as we adhere to the High Lords of Yardoon. Isn't that right, Mr. Cedric?
'Tis true.
'Tis true.
Wow. How many years is she?
The ship.
Yes.
43, actually.
Oh my.
It was my dad's before mine. Always out of the port near Serenity, though my father, he grew up in a place called Craven Mills. Dastardly place, don't ever visit it. But the port's been good to us.
She is beautiful.
Yes. He seems taken aback as he looks at you for a moment, but then he kind of regains his composure. Anyway, business. So, Mr. Whitlock, Mr. Dawnkeeper, I can't help but see that the Oleander's the only ship that made port this morning.
It's
So you the
the thing.
fish.
Their ship went missing in the night. It was my fault.
Well,
Oh, really?
I was
Your
keeping
fault.
watch, and I did not see it, and it disappeared. We were right next to the crest when Night River went down into the river,
Well,
and I was supposed to keep watch.
Well, it wasn't entirely your fault that that creature came out in the night.
I
and we
mean,
had to
I'd love a
act on
deception
that.
check.
I mean, it was a god beast. You know of Rook?
The High Lord.
Digging for advantage, this party is.
Tried. Quite the creature.
Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. I need a D6.
Wait! You're
Would you
a
like
cleric.
a-
Guidance
like a-
yourself.
Like a DM D6?
I
I
need a
guidance
D6.
myself,
I need a
but like
D6.
he'd probably notice it.
Oh,
And then, can I guidance myself?
believe
allowed
you
to?
can.
Am I allowed to? Will you allow me?
He might. Yeah, of course you can. He may see it. You're right.
Okay,
You
no,
may see
I'm
it.
gonna allow it though. It's,
Guidance
18.
is it somatic?
an 18.
19?
No, an 18. Oh,
An 18?
Yeah.
So guidance.
Oh yeah,
I
it's,
don't
you
know
can
what
see
is.
it.
I was
Yeah.
saying, I haven't
it's like
asked this
Baldur's
in
Gate,
you can see-
remember?
you can see it.
It's
Let's say it's,
clear. Yeah.
Yeah. He's again taken aback by your gaze. Something.
Something's just hitting different.
He does look at you, Sir Cedric. As a man that I would know, that would always tell me the truth, Sir Cedric, did my ship go down in the night of the accord of this god beast? Did it just suck it into the swell of the Fringe land base?
While sounding far-fetched, I swear by it. 'Tis true.
You would never tell a lie.
I would not.
Well, that is all well and good. Mr. Dawnkeeper. Mr. Dawnkeeper. If you would, then. Bad kitty. There's a cat that runs by his feet, almost like tripping him up with his uneven gait, or his gait. Mr. Dawnkeeper, I think that we'll call it about 100 parrots. We'll be square.
Oh, okay. Let me find my coin purse. 1 second. I dump out what I have and make 100 pence out of it. Which pence? That's gold pieces, right?
It looks like you're a little short.
I have 175. It should be.
I don't know what happened, didn't I, Nick?
Do you know
It
how
was
to
just
count
here.
the coins of the realm, Mr. Dawnkeeper?
I mean, of course.
Can I
do.
look at his coins?
Mm-hmm.
How many does he have there?
What did you dump out specifically?
I'm trying to make 100.
Oh, okay.
Do you have 100 gold equivalent on your character?
Yeah, I have 175.
Of gold?
Yeah.
Per your background?
Yeah.
You're sure?
Damn.
Did you take equipment and gold, or just equipment?
Because you were supposed
took-
to
Just
take the
gold.
gold and then buy your equipment.
Oh.
And no background starts with any more than, I think, 25 gold equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
damn,
Equipment
dude,
yeah,
plus
I took
gold,
gold.
yeah.
I took both. That's why it's like that. Okay.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
what
Give-
background
give
did
me
you take?
I took.
We can do a quick little Google here.
I'll,
Throw you on the spot. I tell you what, go ahead and pull up your background. See how many. So gold.
So however much he has, I supplement the rest of it.
Well,
I
hang
took
on.
no equipment.
Right.
Yeah, same. I took just a shield and spear, dude.
Interesting.
I just have studded.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
saving
should
up for
have like
these
10 to
You
20 gold at the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
Which,
Okay.
Yeah. Pins,
Whatever.
pyre, parrot.
Do they not all do the same? Because I had like
No, not all the backgrounds are the same amount of gold.
Okay.
So that
Mine
was
was like roll 5d4 and
You
then
can.
times it by something.
you can.
But
It was
that's that counts for your equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You roll
yeah.
that by
yeah,
your
I wound
equipment.
up with I only wound up with 50 like afterwards, but
Was it 2d4 or was it 4d4? It was 44, right? That was in the Discord.
You could roll for it, or you just take gold per backstory or background. So it really didn't matter to me how you did it. So, but there's no way he has 100
Yeah.
parrots.
I was
got-
like, dude, give me that backstory. Give me
I've
that.
got
Yeah.
Yeah, he's rich, but he's not that rich.
I've got 60 if it need be. But that is literally all my money
Yeah, I was
that I
gonna
was
say,
gifted
There's-
before I left.
There's no way anyone within the party has that much. But as a cumulative force, perhaps. But okay, so back into it. So Mr. Dawnkeeper, you pour out everything that you have, and it is dramatically short, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Jophiel, you begin to reach for your coin purse. He puts up a hand. So here at the seam, Mrs. Jophiel was it? Bargains are paid for by those that inquire. There's no way that I could take your money, or Sir Cedric's, or even Mr. Everett's, or these two young women. Mr. Dawnkeeper's the one that decided to parlay a contract with myself, and he will pay dearly for losing my ship. And he just smiles, and by dearly, all I mean is an afternoon of hard labor.
Yeah, he's great at that. Slap him hard on the back.
I have 124 crates of cargo that need to make it onto my ship. As long as you get them on there within the next 4 hours, we'll call it square. Now, if your friends want to help you do that, that's mighty fine. But I'm not going to allow your friends to just chip in and pay for you. Your hands are mighty soft and need a bit of callus, I think.
Right. So those over there then?
124 crates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll take no time. We just gotta get started on it. Like,
Now?
Hey, yeah.
Okay. I like take my jacket off and start going up in there.
So as Everett and Alex begin to walk over there, he glances at you, Cedric, and then you, Jophiel. To be honest, they're just outsiders, and I'd wish to speak with you, Sir Cedric, in a bit more private circumstance.
Of course.
You don't seem like much of a threat, no offense.
Oh, am I threatening?
It's a couple.
No, not at all.
Oh, good. I wasn't trying to be threatening.
Good. Mr. Cedric, I do want to inquire about something, if you have the time.
I do.
And he kind of gestures toward his ship. If you mind coming aboard, you can bring the girls as well. And Eldon has seen Elith and Andrea before. He knows them both well enough.
Yep.
So, you guys following?
I do.
All right. So, Mr. Dawnkeeper and Mr. Whitlock, you guys starting to.
Moving.
You're like putting like 2/3 of the work into it.
I want you guys.
yeah,
Both
for
for me to roll for me. I want both of you to roll for me athletics checks, please.
Let's go.
Okay.
What did I just roll last?
I'm sorry. This is too funny not to.
It's pretty. It's good.
Oh no! I'm wait.
Oh,
till
it's
you go to
good
roll.
because of what you rolled. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Alex, what you got?
14.
14.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that sounds about right.
So Alex is he's on his first box that is it's about it's a foot by foot.
Oh yeah.
He's
the
like struggling.
the first thing I went and did when we walked out into the box is like kind of put my foot on one and
Yeah.
like
They're not
how
super
heavy are
heavy.
these? Ah, okay.
These are the ones that have been left behind. So there's kind of a rig and pulley system for the large pieces of cargo.
Oh.
These are the small
cheaters.
crates
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
that just need to be carried on. But Alex
okay.
is like just sweating and struggling to get it onto the ship.
You know, maybe instead of those talking stones, you could figure out like a moving thing. Maybe it levitates stuff, and you just all you have to do is push it.
You know, I'll just make a big metal thing that has hooks on the front of it, and you could put the freight on top of it and move it around.
That sounds awesome.
I just need my tools and they're back in Elfia, so I can't do that right now.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Yeah, you're gonna have to put your back into it, bud.
I don't have a back. Not anymore.
As Eldon and the rest of your newly acquainted crew walk by, Eldon turns to you as you kind of he's up on the top of the ship now and he sees you, Alex, and you say that, and he's the sciatica really got me after many years, so be careful, young man.
That's that nerve in your back, right?
Oh yeah.
You don't want to walk like him, do you? Use your legs.
To be fair, if I don't fix this curse, I won't be walking at all, which I might recommend at this point.
So as you two are working, Alex, will you please roll for me percentage dice? And I just need to know if you get 1 through 49 or 50 to 100, just either or. Pretty please.
Cool. 47.
Okay. So as you were struggling with these crates, right? You get close to the edge of the dock and you trip and you fall.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of look down at the dock, and the water is not fully up here. The dock goes, it's kind of what's a good way to describe it? It's very long at the base in the loading area, but then the actual the pieces of the dock that jut out toward the ship go for several dozen feet, if that makes sense. So think of like trying to think of a good way to explain it to make sense.
That's like any pier. It starts on land. And
Yeah. This is it's important that I get this. Anyway, yes, what Alex said. like any pier, it starts on land, it goes into the water. My point is, where you look down, there's not as much water that's etching up into the land, because as you kind of fall flat on your face and you look down betwixt the cracks, you see a bit of a divot in the mud where the equivalent of a stream is running up through it. And you fixate on that for a minute, and you look down, and what you see are these kind of bits of shadow around these 4 really large carpenter ants. And then you see hundreds of smaller ones, right? And you see this bit of wood that almost looks like a boat that's careening down what this, I mean, to them it must be like a small stream or river, but then these 4 large carpenter ants just swarm it. They break it into pieces and they begin to kill all the smaller ants. Your birthmark begins to burn as you look at this. And then you kind of shake it off and you stand up.
I'd say by that time I'm over like, hey.
You just
what are
watched
you
him eat
doing?
shit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yo,
Just lay there for a while, like, what the?
Are you all right? You're kind of picking him up. Dude, they're not that heavy. Are you good?
I don't know how to describe what I just saw. All I know is I don't want to fall again. So I'll just figure this out.
Okay. We're almost done.
Well, you're almost done.
You
You've
put
been
on like
doing most of the
70,
work.
40
Yeah.
crates at this point.
Just-
He's put on like 2.
75 more.
Right, 75 more. That's
And
not even that much.
Yeah, I've
It's
got
less
most
than 100.
of them. Yeah, less than 100. There you go. Focus on that. And then it'll be less than 50. Then it'll be less than 20. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Maybe watch your step.
Yeah.
Okay. Back at it.
So the rest of you head on to the Windrider and into the captain's quarters. Eldon shuts the door. Excuse me. And the rest of you kind of gather around his desk. It's a quaint, dusky, kind of moldy smelling captain's quarters. It's got a floral note that is just odd, but maybe elves like it, you know. And through one of the kind of the portholes in the back, there's a glimmer of light that comes in that kind of shines across his face, and you see that his blue cloak shimmers in that light as he goes over to his chair, sitting down. Not to be like disrespectful, but his hips hurt sometimes.
Mhm.
So Cedric, I tried to take this up with the church, but they said to reach out to you in this matter. It was nigh on a week ago that one of the subcontracted ships that I send out to the Elite Seal that runs cargo to the Seal Masters for them and Wraithul and then up into the Eldar Conclave. Well, she hasn't returned. And I'm just seeking someone to take a peek and to see if anything has happened to her. She's a good young ship lord of the port near Serenity, and I just unfortunately don't have the time or the manpower, and my ship's too large to sail up that part of the bay toward the Seal. If you have any inclination of wanting to help me out for a favor in the future, if you would, I'd like you to take a peek into it. Just want to make sure they're okay.
Of course. I'd love to help.
There is a bit of something more other than just me asking this favor. I know that you were at the crest just yesterday. We all sat around on top of the ship to look and see the spectacle that was that of the summoning. We could see it all the way from here. When that was happening, there was a bit of a kerfuffle in the woodlands south of here. I don't know if that means anything, but a lot of explosions of light and things that just sent a shiver down my spine. Was all. I don't know. I just have an odd feeling, Sir Cedric.
Hmm.
But, yeah, it's coming from the forest of the Galleon, which just so happens to be quite near to Galewing's Godspar, as far as I know. So.
Thank you.
So were you in prison long, Mrs. Jophiel?
Oh, you're talking to me. She was pacing around the room, touching the wall and like feeling the wood.
Doesn't
and
look
just
like it's
kinda-
been dusted in quite some time.
Yeah, she kind of puts her hand on it, sees the dust, and like not to be like rude, but like but then like continues to kind of look around and then looks at the portcullis, like But yeah, by the time he says that, she turns around. I don't actually remember much of it.
Oh, really? Well, I don't think anybody would really want to remember time spent in prison. Jophiel, though. And he looks at you, and again, with that inquisitive look. Can't help but to think that I've heard that name somewhere before. Anyway. Yeah. So, anywho, I'm gonna go check on your other new friend, Sir Cedric. Make yourself at home if need be. There's some food in the lower decks. But I do appreciate you looking into this matter. I'm just...
Worry not.
And he smiles. Oh, you faithful type. Anyway. He looks around on his desk for a moment. And this is kind of telling. And he looks at a piece of paper. Alora Moonshade was the captain that I subcontracted out to. And he kind of slides it back under. Opens the door, light comes in. At this point, Everett, you've loaded near all. Alex, you've loaded near 4. You girls are kind of watching this all take place. Sir Cedric, kind of introduced you briefly to everyone, but yeah, you're just kind of, here and now. Don't be afraid to speak. Anyway, you guys now are all pretty much back together on top of the Wind Rider.
Yeah, where were we stacking the boxes?
Into the cargo hold of the Wind Rider. So you
Yeah.
come up and then down into the second and then third layer of the ship.
Would we have passed maybe the captains?
To kind of listen in?
I mean,
I will give you
depending on
a
how loud they was
belated
talking.
a perception check
Yeah.
if you would like. If you would like to have snuck over, don't feel afraid at any point in time when you guys get separated to cut in and ask for such things. I
Right.
don't mind it at all.
I hear nothing. Matter of fact, I trip into the door on a.
Yeah, so like as they get done with their conversation and he pushes open the door, it smacks against the front of your face.
Oh.
And he looks down
Yeah.
and you had a piece of you had a crate next to you. No, that goes down the way.
Yes, sir.
Then he looks over the side and sees Alex. Turns back to you, Sir Cedric. Are they hired help? Old family. They're family, aren't they, Sir Cedric?
New acquaintances, actually.
Oh. You're a splendid old chap, taking all these wanted and wanting souls. And he just smiles. He just smiles.
I try to be as gracious as I can.
Oh, by the light of the ascendant flame. Do your best, I guess. It was a pleasure to meet you, Jophiel.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well, Eldon. I love your ship.
Thanks. There's some rotten melon down in the hold if your muskrat wants some of it. Anyway, some lettuce too. And he goes hobbling across the deck and begins to shout orders at his men as they're making ready for the ship to probably head back toward Port near Serenity.
Alexander just has the most defeated look on his face.
Buddy, it wasn't that bad.
The Dawnkeeper,
No.
what happened?
I am a fool. I am a weak, clumsy fool.
How are you a fool?
I can't carry boxes
Why can you not carry boxes?
because I'm a weak, clumsy fool.
But you are smart. I mean, look at the things you make. The talking things.
Look, your outside may not be as physically fit as mine, but
Yeah.
your brain is probably twice the size of mine.
That's
The
because I
sh-
read a lot.
It's the strongest out of all of our brains, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, look, even the one that just met you thinks you're smart.
Well,
That's how smart
thanks.
you
that's,
are.
That's flattering, I guess.
She must have been really impressed by the little talking rock.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. It's not really a rock though. I kind of crack it open. There's a bunch of gears inside. Yeah,
What?
so there's a little wax piece, and that's what like holds the sound. And then the clock works with how the clockwork goes. But I made it look like a rock because rocks are cool.
Yeah, well, I
We all
think
agree rocks
knew.
look cool.
Yeah, I think we all knew it wasn't a rock.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
we all knew it wasn't a rock.
Yeah, because that's wizard stuff. I can't make like a rock turn into like a sending stone or whatever. I have to do like gears and clockwork and that sort of thing. I can't just be arcanally gifted like all them, actual smart people.
Well, I mean, they're kind of cheating, right?
They are
Yeah.
cheating. And they have the hats too. I don't want to wear a hat like that. Who wants to wear a hat like that?
not I.
No.
Not I, said the fly.
Nay.
Nay was said the horse say.
Yeah, I
can't-
think that's more of a horse saying.
Yeah.
Have you heard a horse? Jophiel?
I mean, we have.
Yes. But nay is
Oh, as in no? Is that what you're...
Oh, as in no.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Ah.
I.
The nuance of common.
The nuance of common.
It is a weird...
Elvish and Sylvan don't have those nuances. Kind of inferior languages, honestly.
Elven. Wait. We have... You must speak Elven.
I'm
Yes.
1/4
Correct,
Elvish, so yes.
Oh,
You have someone you could talk your common tongue to. That's cool.
I dabble
I
in a bit
don't-
of Elvish myself.
I don't speak it that well.
Oh,
But,
Is it more of a writing language to you? I'm guessing.
Funny enough, spoken, not written.
Oh. Honestly, I get that because Elvish is kind of hard to write. There's
I
so much
read
extra movement.
I read Dwarvish, but can't
Read
really speak it.
Dwarvish.
Yeah.
I've
That takes a
probably
lot
had
of
to.
like guttural sounds to do Dwarvish, so that makes sense.
Well, you should speak giant.
that is actual like you're coughing and sneezing to make those sounds. Yeah, that makes sense.
Where have you guys been to have learned these things?
I've-
Oh,
amazing.
I don't
Dwarvish is-
know them. I just hear it around.
What about Dwarfish, little one?
It's pretty easy.
Oh, it's easy.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
easy to it's easy
Well-
to the ferret one. Yeah.
I mean,
What?
she's an elf.
Well,
No.
you have a ferret. I'm not saying you're a ferret folk. Are there ferret folks? I look at you inquisitively. Are there ferret folks?
I don't know any ferret folks.
This is really getting off the rails.
Yeah.
Does Alex Dawnkeeper look at the ferret square in the eyes and say, other ferret folks?
Are you ferret?
Are there humanoids of you, ferret?
people?
I would like my ferret to jump on his face.
Please. I
Ferret
would,
just jumps out, claws out onto the face of Alex, yes? Mm-hmm. And then
Oh,
just
no.
begins running around your neck like a squirrel, then into your shirt and down.
Oh, that looks. That looks
Huh.
Eventually coming out of your pant leg,
I need that pant. I need that pant leg.
goes running back up on the Eyelit.
Does he have a name as it runs across my face and goes back down?
His name is Kiki. Kiki.
Kiki.
Kiki the ferret.
You only scratched me a little bit, Kiki. Otherwise, this is fun.
How did you tame a ferret?
It
They're actually pretty easy to tame.
Do
from what
you
I
have a
heard.
ferret?
No, my girlfriend wanted one. I kind of said no because I don't want to pick up ferret poop.
Well, let's ask the ferret tamer.
It was more of a gift than a find.
Oh. Who gifted you a ferret? It's a curious gift.
My father.
Oh. Well. Dads like to give out weird presents. Yep.
Did your father give you strange presents?
You could say that. I got like special training for birthdays, so that was cool.
Aw.
Yeah, like practicing naval warfare instead of just regular warfare.
It's good
Well,
to...
I think a ferret's a nice gift.
Yeah, I do too. It's way better than special training.
Speaking of gift, as a ferret pops off my shoulder, you can go back to her now. Thank you for the entertainment.
Her name is Illith. Okay.
Elith, right? I kind of blanked out when she introduced herself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Are you feeling faint, Sir Dawnkeeper?
No. A song blanked into my head when you said faint, but okay, it's fine.
Well, it was probably all that work you just did.
I am very lightheaded, and you don't have to call it work. I just attempted to do what you do, but worse. It's fine.
I mean, I would call it work still.
Yeah, it's still work,
Yeah.
I guess.
You're
Not
awful.
the work I like.
No.
I like being over a desk for like 12 to 14 hours a day working on something. That's fun.
Oh,
Yeah. This is probably why your sister always had me doing that stuff around the shop, wasn't it?
Yeah. She got mad at me, so mad at me, because I couldn't get enough
Yeah.
force with the hammer to like actually do anything. But well, from what I heard, you can actually do that pretty well.
I mean,
You might have a retirement plan in line.
a hammer is not so different from a sword. Swing it about the same.
That's
He's
what I
right.
told her.
light hammers, war hammers.
Mm-hmm.
They hit differently, though.
Right, but the motion is still the same.
Yeah, and its core, it's the same mechanic.
I'm gonna say you can't really hammer, sand.
Well, I mean, if you heat it up, you can turn it into glass, which I guess you could hammer, but
Mhm.
it'd kind of shatter, I think.
They kind of blow it at that point,
Oh, yeah.
That's how they do that. There's a couple glass blowers at Ophius. Nothing too crazy, though. Just some faucets, pots.
You're awful quiet.
I haven't.
Oh, right, there's another one here.
I can practically see through you.
It's.
Wait, that's an instrument on your side. Are you a bard? Are you a quiet bard? I never met a quiet bard.
I haven't been able to really talk to anyone else except Sir Cedric and Edith.
But
In
why
a
not?
long
Oh.
time.
But why not?
I've just never talked to really anyone else.
She's just shy, I think.
I think
Just
she's
a bit,
nervous.
Just a bit quiet is all.
Do you speak
Doesn't
through
make her
your
any less of a bard.
flute?
No, I don't play it around people I don't know usually.
Oh,
But
Unless I haven't played it around people since I've been traveling with them.
well, I would love to hear it.
yeah, it must be hard to make money.
I used to be a performer Whatever.
Used to?
whenever I was in my village.
Oh, because you knew everyone around
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But I've just
yeah, hard to do on the road.
Yeah.
New faces, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fair.
Can be tough.
How long have y'all been traveling with Cedric here?
Oh, a while now.
It's been a minute. It's been
Yeah.
like a while.
But you're both so young. I mean, huh? I don't know where I was going with that.
Just youthful exuberance and adventurous souls, I suppose.
You know, yeah, I get it. If I had had the opportunity, I would have left home younger as well.
It can be dangerous, but also you are much wiser than what you were before, and you acquired that so much younger, too.
Where,
And it seems like the two of you have done well for yourselves so far.
yeah, whereabouts are y'all from?
I'm from the
I
village
don't
of
remember how to
Myths.
pronounce it.
Valenthius. Well,
No.
you weren't from. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's where my
I got
ancestors were from.
Yeah, that's where your
I
ancestor
got it.
were from, was Valenthius, and then you wound up in Wraithul.
Oh fuck! Please tell me that's not how you pronounce it.
Wraithul.
Rores?
Oh, Roarsport.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
it
it.
is.
Sorry.
It is.
I
Okay.
thought
So
Valenthus
sorry.
was Valentos. So
I thought so too.
So she had a couple different places within her tale, starting in Valenthius. I know
Her
Roarsport was in there,
parents
but I
are
thought
from-
Wraithul was in there at some point, but I think that I'm wrong. Yeah, her parents. So yeah, things, hilarious things that we'll eventually get to.
Don't put it like that.
And you said you were from Mist? Not many people go there.
Not many people come out.
This is true. Yet here you are. Incredible.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, the Rorisport's not far from here.
No,
You,
it's not that far.
you don't, not worried about going back home just yet?
I mean,
It's okay if you're not.
It-
I'm not
I
looking to go
wouldn't
anywhere
mind.
close to home anytime soon.
I wouldn't mind seeing the shop again.
Shop.
we're seeking adventure still.
Yeah.
That is fair. That's what got me out of my home.
Obvious.
Yep.
I just see Everett messing with
Bye.
the wrap of his blade. Like,
It's my eraser stuck.
but
Well, speaking of, should we proceed to Duskendale now?
I think so.
With a
Sounds
horse
like
and
there might
wagon
be
nearby.
Things we
Oh.
need to go. And
Wait,
I don't think this port town really carries much adventuring equipment, does it? I don't have much. Just my clothes and my staff.
You don't.
Decent.
And,
So
I mean,
what-
there's a couple people you might need to just keep
What do
your
you-
eye on, but
yeah, what are you looking for? Specifically, I guess.
I might need armor.
Any preference on armor?
like leather,
Heavy armor.
Hey,
maybe.
gonna need a
I think
blacksmith for
heavy. I'm
that.
not. I'm not really sure. I just feel like while we had that little conflict earlier in the night, I felt very exposed, and I need something to get behind.
Vulnerable almost.
Yes. I do not think I always just wore clothing while I was engaged in battle. But I handled myself well in battle, so I don't think it's not the first time that something like that's happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, you did seem quite capable. What type of weapon do you think you wielded, not yielded?
I don't know.
Oh, so you need to like go somewhere and try some stuff out.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I believe so.
Where we are going doesn't involve much
Is it-
armor or.
But Duskendale, yeah, you can shop
Duskendale, the
around
former
there.
capital.
Yeah, surely there's a blacksmith that could arm you there.
I feel
course.
like I've been to Duskendale before. It sounds
Have you?
familiar.
Do you remember much of Duskendale?
She thinks about it.
With your current memory and age of which you're living in, you probably would remember Duskendale as the first capital, which is pretty basic knowledge, but at the time, whenever the memory took place, which has gotten you up to where you're living in your own mind, Duskendale would be, in your mind, just kind of a backwater village compared to the grand cities that the Triumvirate are building. But beautiful. It represents a good life.
It's a humbling village. Last I remember. The capital, yes?
Of old,
Capital?
yes.
Yeah.
The capital of old.
Hasn't been the capital in.
Capital of Volt?
The old capital.
Yeah, I mean, Yardoon.
Yeah, so it was the first capital, but now there is another. The capital has moved on.
Yeah.
They switched it.
Yeah, Yardoon is,
It's
they
the
figured
current.
it a more central location.
Mm-hmm.
The more people go to that place, they will make that place
I mean,
where people know to go.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. They were building other places in more optimal locations.
they were. Who was building? Who was building?
The inhabitants of the world, the different people.
The Commonwealth, if you will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, when was the last time you heard of a town being founded? Sir Cedric or Alex?
Oh,
Well, I believe Jophiel to be an old soul.
Ah,
yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember the last time.
yeah.
I don't know that in my lifetime I've seen another town or capital founded personally, but I also don't pay greater attention to politics, things of that nature, so it could have slipped by me.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Politics is not really up there on my list either.
No, can't say for me either.
An old soul. It does appear to be that, huh?
I suppose I'm missing some time, I think.
It does appear that you are. Some of your answers are just I find them interesting.
We'll find a way to make up for lost time.
I do hope so. But I am enjoying this time too. It is very fun.
I mean, there is no time like the present.
Mhm.
But I bet you'd be surprised at the sight of Duskendale now. well, I mean, it's still a humble city, but probably a bit bigger than you remember. Which we didn't really get to see a lot of it, did we, Alex?
Not at all. No. They said he's not here. Go here. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be nice to actually look around the city.
Actually, do some sightseeing. Yeah, be nice.
Well, so I was speaking to Eldon, and it turns out that there's a shiplord from Port Serenity that was headed north, but she's gone missing. And I've kind of been tasked with checking in, seeing if everything is okay, if they need help, assistance of some kind. So I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but trying to find Alora Moonshade, if that rings any bells as well. No.
Well, since I did kind of sort of crash his boat, and I kind of really didn't help out with moving the boxes, yeah, we could go look around, I guess.
I left home for adventure. So, yeah, let's go check it out. What could it hurt? Although we should stop and maybe at least get Miss Jophiel some armor.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't want to inconvenience anyone, I can stand a ways. I believe my magics will still be able to reach.
It is no inconvenience. Just a slight stop by the blacksmith in town.
Eyelit,
That's
Andrea, do you have any
fine.
objections to heading north?
Nope.
Forest is my favorite
Excellent.
place.
It sounds like we have a plan then. We'll head north.
With the plan to head north, and before we take a quick break, my youngest is texting the hell out of me trying to watch the Twitch stream. It's hilarious.
That's funny.
It is quite
the
cute.
dwarves!
She wanted to know why we look like this. But what I will say is, as you look about the stalls of the Eyelit Warf, there is only one general goods store, and it's very much not what you're looking for.
Oh yeah.
As you go, and this is kind of for brevity's sake here, you see that they sell necklaces, ships in a bottle, nautical compasses.
Souvenir store.
There is no
Old toy
blacksmith
store.
at the Eyelit Wharf, no weapons vendor. You guys are gonna have to pull resources together here. But real quick, let's take a quick break. And let everyone go pee and stuff. We'll be right back. Hilarious.
What does she mean? Why do we look like this?
She was, I don't know. And she was like, I can't hear you. And I was like,
I'm
but
not talking.
I'm not talking. So, by the way, the mics are still rolling in the cut here. So,
Okay.
girls, don't be afraid to talk. And the reason why, you want to know why I took a break, girls? Because this dog snores
Yeah,
louder than I
she's
do.
snoring. I can hear her.
Oh my god! Bean, you were snoring so loud! You were snoring so loud! Yes, you were! I love you! I love you! You fucking bitch! She's a dog, I can call her a bitch. But you're my bitch. My goodness, she was a... That's how I snore at night, Beanie. That's how I snore. That's how Daddy snores. Yeah. Yeah, that's how Daddy snores. That's not cool, man. Your dad sounds the best because he kept rubbing his hat against the mic.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
tried to
funny.
stop him a couple of times.
We're gonna put
Beanie,
this up.
no.
Well, he's the tallest out of all of us.
Go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push yours just a smidge closer. Rookie, I want you to push yours just a bit closer. Yep, that's all I want.
Sit.
I have a extra.
So, and this is kind of like out of game as we're talking. Like, so you girls, when you're not with Cedric and you're in this place, right? Like out of game, you understand what that place is, but in game, it's like. It's just like if he's not interacting with you and talking to you, it's almost as if you're pushed to the side and you can just speak with each other, and everything around you is just kind of like you can't hear it. You can watch, but you don't really understand it.
Yeah.
But this is the first time while you're in this kind of secluded space that something has reached out and tried to talk to you. So that's a very interesting point. You fucked up.
I poured way too much in there.
Did you just pour more?
Yeah, I was like, just
Give Brad some.
Smidge.
more. And
Give
I
Brad
was like,
some.
oh,
So you can always
Half
add
a
more.
glass.
Yeah, seriously, just pour
Yeah.
some into his.
I got a good buzz going. We're having a good
Hey,
time.
what we're going to 12?
Yep.
Beanie, go.
Yeah, I'll be alright.
Sorry.
You want a beer?
Did we get water?
So that's how I supplement. So like I look at that, but I'm like I'll take a sip of this.
That's usually what I do with the Red Bull.
So Amelia's calling me.
Aw.
We're live. Everyone gonna hear us, and I'm talking to my youngest. She hung up, so I don't get to talk to her.
Never mind.
Sorry, I
Nothing
forgot I
you did.
can't call you.
It's okay. Let me do this real quick. There's still. Oh no, Shawn's back, but Ian's not, so it's okay.
Okay.
Honey, what's the matter? I think it's because Mama's internet is doggy poop. I know. But if you click that box that I sent you, and then you just hit the play button. And then does it keep skipping?
No, just keep pausing.
Aw.
That's just because the internet's not that good. You don't have enough signal. But, you know what's really cool? Tomorrow you'll be able to watch it. And by the way, it's 10 o'clock. You should go to bed. You need to. So watch some well then fine. Then watch some YouTube and stuff and then go night-night soon, okay? No, watch regular YouTube.
Watch Carly and
Probably won't work either.
Same thing.
Well then go watch TV in the living room if you want. But either way, you need to go to sleep soon, okay? I love you. Yep, you're a bad girl. But anyway, I gotta get up here because I gotta continue DMing this D&D session, okay? I'm taking. See, she was watching.
She's like, it says be right
Well,
back.
love
I
you.
know better,
I gotta
Dad.
get up, okay?
I can read.
Love
Guess
you,
what? I can
Millers.
read.
Everyone's
Love you.
okay?
That's funny.
Alright, I'll see you tomorrow.
Izzy's just now figuring out how to read.
Who?
My sister,
Her little sister.
How old is she?
turning 8 this year in
Yeah.
October.
It's-
Wait, yeah,
she's
our
just-
sisters are the same.
Yeah, the same age, pretty much.
And they have
Same
like,
age, same birthday.
yeah, they have
Yeah.
the same birthday too.
Holy
She's
shit,
just
do it,
learned.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, Millers.
10, 17, 2000.
16.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the day before my brother's.
Yeah. Oh, and Scarlett's. Scarlett's is before theirs.
Oh, right.
It's in a row. Scarlett,
Oh,
my sister,
Scarlett is
Matthew.
16, yeah.
Let's go.
That's craziness.
Millers
Yeah.
mastered the art of.
She is. And apologies for
texting.
my brain farts. Like, whatever this is that my two younglings have given me is giving me the greatest brain fog of all time. And it's kicking my butt.
That's been, I've sort of been trying to kick that tooth infection, I think, all week.
I was gonna ask how that was going.
Yeah, well, like, my tooth doesn't hurt anymore,
Right?
but I still have a little bit of pressure up in my jaw. And then all week I've just been dog-ass tired. So I don't know if I got something on top of it. And, yeah,
Right?
I don't know.
Well, kids are back
Are you
in
grinding
school,
your teeth
and they're bringing home
while you're
stuff.
sleeping?
Grinding my teeth.
And
that
then
is
you're waking
just-
up without realizing it, and
Excuse me.
then going back to sleep till up while you're tired.
Yeah, could be.
That could be it.
Could be.
All right, we ready?
Probably what started it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
All right. And we're rolling back into it. So you guys are still in the Eyelit Warf. Sir Cedric has brandished a potential investigative quest of sorts.
And it's north? Is what you
North,
said?
yeah.
to the Eyelit Seal.
Ah,
So if you look on the old map, and by the way, I'm using Legend Keeper, and if any of you DMs ever come across this, Legend Keeper is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. Not sponsored, but it is a good time.
oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, so from the Eyelit Warf, kind of, it would be northwest of the Eyelit Warf toward the Eyelit Seal. It seems that a ship has gone missing. It was supposed to return recently, left near a week ago. Hasn't come back.
And he just wants to know what happened, right?
Yeah.
He was just seeking, just what was happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could pop up there and just find this ship, and come back and let him know.
Exactly my thoughts.
Excuse me.
Just seeking knowledge
How
that has not been found.
how long of a travel do you think it would take?
Probably.
Would that be like a survival
Okay,
check?
so players, it depends on how you're traveling, Sir Cedric. Are you taking Oleander, and you're
Yes,
going that
that's
way?
We'll be traveling via boat. Yes.
I would say so. If we refer to the map of the realm of Alora,
Oh, there is a key.
there is a key,
Is it
and
really?
there's also some travel stuff, but I don't think I calculated by sea. So
About
let's see.
100?
100
Maybe
odd
a little-
miles
little
through
more.
the fringe lands. You did this previous in about 5 hours. I would say you don't know exactly where you're going. You're just heading toward the Eyelit Seal. But if you were to sail all the way to the Eyelit Seal, 2 to 4 hours. So just depending on any residuals of Night River, etc., etc. But yeah, 2 to 4 hours by ship. Much longer on foot because you're going to be you'd be trucking. There's not really a trail that goes around the outskirts of Aliandal's Crossing. You'd be trudging through sand.
Be white knuckling it all.
Yeah, it'd be pretty rough. So but we're going to take Oleander here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking like a day trip.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And we've made it.
Day trip.
We do a day
Oh,
trip.
it's up here. Screw that map. So we've made it. We are now amid the month of Galewing on the 3rd day of Gale's Breath. Andrea is the calendar keeper.
On the calendar.
I'm gonna update with the sessions to come. I'm gonna try and take what she did for me and put it up for you guys with all the different holidays and things. In different cities and places, so you can be like, hey, this is coming up in X place. Maybe we go there and check it out, etc., etc. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna hand it back over to you guys. What would you like to do?
Wait, could you say the name of the town again, Sir Cedric? It's striking.
Yeah, so we'll be headed towards the Eyelit Seal.
Eyelit Seal.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I know of someone. Yes,
From there, maybe?
perhaps. Give me time and it will come.
Of course. Well, since there are no objections, we should make haste. Time only eludes us.
Yep. Haste
Yeah.
we should make.
Make my way
Fast
back
and
onto.
hurries and whatnot.
Yes.
So you guys begin heading back to Oleander, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Brother Marcus sees you going to leave again, Sir Cedric, as you guys are getting on the ship, and then Sir Cedric, you're kind of the last one untying the rigging. He comes to help you, of course, as he typically does, and he looks at you with more fervor in his gaze than typical. Brother Marcus has always been a very jovial, happy fella. You look at him not of much import, just as kind of a passing by conversation. And he just kind of gives you a gaze that it takes you aback for a moment, Sir Cedric. as if there's something behind those eyes more than the commoner's brain and talk that you've garnered before from Brother Marcus.
Marcus,
Go ahead.
is there something wrong?
And he kind of leans in. Have you ever wondered, is it wrong? Is it wrong to hide in the shadows of the pillars? To seek what has not been sought?
I wouldn't say that it's wrong, no.
Must we always tread in the sunlight? Must we always slumber at night? Should we hide from what's in the dark, Sir Cedric?
I choose to stand against those that are in the dark.
And he smiles broadly. Me too. Safe travels, Sir Cedric.
Thank you.
Brother Marcus waves at each of you. You begin pushing away from the Eyelit Warf, heading on to the inner bays of the Fringe Lands, caressing on kind of the western side of the Hooklands. Yes, Mr. Everett?
That just sounded slightly heretical.
It did have a heretical tone to it, didn't it?
I'm no priest.
Jophiel, you did overhear that as well.
He changed his tune so quickly. I feel that he feared his own thoughts when spoken aloud.
What was so heretical about it? Did I miss something?
He asked, did we always have to walk in light?
Felt like there may have been a temptation to not stand in the light anymore.
Well, in a physical matter sense, isn't dark just the absence of light? And light, therefore, the absence of dark?
I mean, physically, yes. This is more of a metaphysical conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I see where, Alex, your brain probably rationalizes everything.
It's not literal, it's a bit abstract.
Yeah, there are still things that man has not grasped a rational understanding of.
Well, just my philosophy behind it is if there's light, therefore darkness has to exist, and vice versa. And thinking in the higher scheme of things, if there is a way that walking through darkness would have light win in the long run, why wouldn't we do that?
Well, Alex, we do it every day. At least every day that we can. There is no bad day to stand against evil.
But walking in darkness for too long can lead to you thinking that darkness is okay.
Yeah, I think that may have been what Marcus was up to.
It's possible to falter.
Yeah, it feels like what you, Sir Cedric, and the other paladins face is every time you step into the darkness to defeat whatever you need to, could be the last time you can walk back into the light.
That is why we must appreciate the light while we have it.
Wow.
Such is life.
While we're on the subject of the light and the dark, what was that thing last night? Like, I know it was evil.
The figure of shadow.
It kept saying something? What was it saying, Jophiel? You stood against it first.
roll a history to remember?
Sure you can.
I listened to it and you did say it multiple times.
I did.
Excuse
me.
Yeah, it did repeat the phrase.
Yeah, and
I
it was
did
the
repeat it
one
a
thing
lot.
I didn't write down.
Oh,
I listened to it literally today.
Yeah, same. I think I listened to the very part. It's a 9. Although I could give it another roll. It's a 11. I don't know if it helped. There's all that.
So, anything above a 10 is easy enough to remember
Yes.
what the creature was saying.
Yay.
The
Got
creature was repeating, we walk the path of dead. We walk the path of dead. We greet for pyres the lightest fire because we walk the path of dread, is what it was repeating over and over again.
I would repeat the phrase.
That doesn't strike any bells or...
Makes my skin crawl.
It doesn't immediately ring any bells for anyone.
You just seem void bound.
Void bound.
Yes.
And that is...
The between.
It can be irresponsible to make hasty judgments.
Jophiel, with your knowledge of the first vision, speaking that term, the void, the place between, you do know in your specific mind, and this isn't for the rest of you, because only you know this, there are 2 places beyond the realm of Alora that is not accessible by sea. Because in the realm of Alora, you can sail to silver coins. You can sail to tarnished coffers. You can sail to a mystical fey paradise, and you can sail to these dark lands that not many people ever come back for. But there are 2 other lands that border it. The most common, of which each of you know, especially you, Sir Cedric, and even Alex and Everett and you 2 girls. It's called the Void, as she just spoke on, but there's another. There's another that you know of, called the Veil. There are creatures out there, Void-touched and Veil-touched. If you are capable to look upon Legend Keeper, you can actually refer to a new tab that I put in here just for you.
Oh no,
Good, that wasn't supposed to make sense to me.
Did you look at the new one?
Yeah, I
And
looked
did you
at
look
it
at the Sovereign
earlier.
Tree?
Yeah.
So if anyone has
That
referred
side makes
to
sense.
Legend Keeper and referred to the Sovereign Tree, this is only going to be... The Veil part of it is only for Jophiel herself. So right under Alora, A Realm Reborn, there is something called the Sovereign Tree that essentially this is for all of you eventually. Oh, this is cool. I can see your guys' mice as you're doing it. This is hilarious.
Oh, I blew it up. I
That
see
is
it.
cute.
That's awesome.
Shared
So,
quality to it.
You can see the Sovereign Pillars. You can see the Triumvirate, the Lord of the Void, as you know him, Voidwrath. The branded pillars, the lesser gods. But for you specifically, Jophiel, there's a creature known as the Lord of the Veil. Veillark, brother of Voidwrath.
Jesus Christ.
Mind is blown!
They just keep adding up. You can't stop them. They're like rabbits.
Yeah, they are! They keep
Just keep fucking multiplying.
But this is a
Can't stop.
this is a bit of a visual representation of the entire pantheon for you guys that will grow as the campaign goes. So as players, you can look at this, but Jophiel, you're the only one that knows all of this. The rest of you ignore the Lord of the Veil for now.
I only speak of the keys.
So, You guys can continue.
Is dead technically darkness? Or is that what happens after we live?
Are you asking if it's evil to die?
In a sense, yeah, because
I mean,
it's a way of, we were born,
he didn't look
do our
exactly
thing.
like a friendly, though.
Oh, I know what we fought wasn't friendly. I'm just speaking in the grand scheme of things. Is
No.
dead technically the same as darkness?
No. But I do think that maybe yes. I think it may depend on the paths you walk during life. If you stay too long in the dark, maybe you sleep that way too.
Good.
I think context is also important.
That's what I'm thinking too. We don't know enough context about that nasty thing to know more.
I can't say I ever remembered a creature like it. When I think of evil, I don't think of truly voided like that.
Do you remember that man or that creature? Do you remember you were in prison with him? Did you ever?
He appeared humanoid.
So he
Troubled.
seemed fine hours before.
But this one... No, I vaguely remember him walking, but he appeared like any other person. Something twisted him. And he surely did not go to Tanner's coffers in the time that he came back to us, as he was.
Those of the darkness can be quite patient.
And they can look like everyone else. But the creature we fought was nothing like that. That's why I said he was void-bound.
We seem to have, we put it to the side last night because we were all tired. Just thought maybe we should touch on it again.
Certainly. It is not normal. At least from what I cannot remember anything like it. And I feel like as terrifying as it appeared, I would have. But I've forgotten lots of time myself. Has anyone else seen such things? It didn't seem like anyone has. What about the two of you? New companions?
No.
Although they have not seen the creature, so it's hard to, I guess, impress upon them what it looked like.
Oh,
As they are describing this figure, the thing is both of you saw it already. You were there with Sir Cedric, but it wasn't a moment when you could walk alongside him for whatever reason. As you recall earlier in this day, there was something talking to you. And as they described this figure more, you can't help but to think that whatever that thing was, it seemed so dark and diabolical in its speakings to you. It just reminds you of it. Sir Cedric, I will say that both of the girls under your tutelage seem uneasy, sharing glances with one another as if they're recalling something, passively. You get this.
Did something happen?
When we were walking, someone was trying to talk to us. He didn't show who he was.
Or even tell us who he was.
He gave us a name, but I don't even know if it was fake or not.
A name holds power. What was it?
I'm gonna make you girls roll for this. Roll for me a history check, both of you. This is why notes are important.
It started with more.
I'm gonna teach these younglings. I'm gonna teach
I
them.
think
Oh,
I got
shit.
it. I didn't write it down.
16.
I saw it.
16?
Yeah,
I'm gonna write it down this time.
Oh, what you got, kid?
it's Mordred.
This is good.
More
Dun,
griff.
dun, 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 dun.
12.
Okay, above a 10 is good enough. So, Mordeth. Mordeth.
Okay.
Mordeth. Mordeth.
Pencil.
You've got a notebook. Don't look at me like that.
I don't have a pencil.
Do you need... Oh, a pencil? Listen.
pencils
Here you go.
galore.
I stole
Pencils.
yours, sorry.
There's some behind him.
I stole her, sorry.
Thank
Do you
Folly
have
of
pen?
notes.
I need a pencil.
It's right there.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
More
Oh,
death.
God. Here you go.
More death.
Oh.
Alright.
Mordeth.
Yeah.
More death.
No, Mordeth. Mordeth.
No.
Damn it.
No. No more death?
Mordeth, by the light of the three. Mordeth, you fucks.
By the light of the
The
three.
light of the
I love that. By the light of the three.
Oh, shit.
Sounds like something a paladin would say.
Or
Yeah.
one of the the Triadic Conclave. By the light of the three. That's one of the common sayings.
I'll probably break out a by the light of the three I smite you or something.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
At some point.
But yeah, so continue.
His name was Mordeth. And he offered me and Eyelit. He offered us food.
Elith, or did you want a different pronunciation? You said it different than we have.
It's Elith.
Okay, just making sure.
Elith.
Yeah.
He gave me a piece of melon and he gave her peach. We didn't eat it though.
And he asked for a flower.
And he asked me to play for him.
Didn't Elrin say he had melon in his home? For your muskrat?
Oh yeah,
Think
I knew that's
rotting
what
melon.
he was talking about. I just
Well, I mean, I just
didn't speak up and that's why he didn't go. So,
found it an odd connection that
I
Could
think
be a
whatever he
coincidence.
did was real, but nobody could see him. Nobody knew he was there until he started talking to us.
Yeah.
What did he look
And this
like?
has never happened before.
Wait. Couldn't see him. He was in.
So this is the first time that you all have ever just heard a voice, but no body.
When we're not by Sir Cedric's side, we only have ourselves to talk to. And this is the first time we've ever heard someone else's voice.
Especially when we're not by his side.
Yeah.
What is this, like some sort of vow, Sir Cedric? Like they're not allowed to talk to other people?
No, it's nothing like that.
This
can talk to
seems like
whomever they
it's
like.
going to be a complicated thing, so I'll let it. I'll let you tell it when you have a chance.
It's just a means of travel, is all.
Ah. That's interesting, though. But
Your flowers, they're beautiful. Do you create them?
No. I scavenge them.
She's quite good.
what are they called?
Moon lilies.
It's quite a beautiful name, really.
They're really hard to find. I used to stay out in camp every week or so just to catch them before sunrise.
Oh, they're a night flower.
Mm-hmm.
That explains why they're so hard to come by.
That's why they're preserved in my bag. And just something for old keepsake.
As they're speaking of this, Alex, you look off out into the into the bay. And you begin to watch as the waters coalesce and fog crosses your vision. And you begin to see something. In your mind, calculatingly so, you know that it's not there. It's almost as if you're thinking of a memory or seeing some sort of premonition. You watch as, on a moonlit night, you see a field of luminous flowers. Their soft glow is a beacon of tranquility. It kind of eases your mind, and suddenly, 4 shadows move across this field, each passing over a flower, causing its light to flicker and die. Specifically, 4. The other flowers sway anxiously, their glow dimming in the presence of these shadows. Despite their number, they cannot fend off the darkness that is encroaching upon them. And then you kind of blink really hard and you come back to it, and your birthmark begins to burn yet again. And you just kind of shake your head. This is a great time for me to ask, what's everyone's passive perception?
17.
17 for Jophiel?
Not good. I can tell you that now.
Well, it's gotta be over a 10.
What
right?
about Indira?
Not necessarily. Well,
Oh, yeah,
Indira's
sure.
looking. What about Elif?
Well,
Oh, 12. Nice.
Sorry.
Elif?
15.
Sir Cedric.
12.
Alex, yourself. I just want to
15.
know it. This is for everyone else, but not you. And Everett.
12.
12 gang.
So Jophiel, you just noticed that. What I would say is that you've seen this before. You look over and you can notice that Alex Dawnkeeper almost seems seasick as he's
And I'm,
looking off to the side.
Rubbing
of
my
Oleander.
hand, rubbing my forearm.
He's rubbing his forearm, very much so. You can almost hear it. It's as if someone that's rubbing his skin raw.
Are you two all right?
I cast guidance on him.
How does your guidance look?
Since it's very, in my opinion, probably a very open spell, it literally puts like you know how in Hercules, how his like, there's an outline of glow about him?
Sure. So you
when
kind of like touch someone?
When her hand starts to turn, like, cast guidance and then she puts on someone, her hand does that glow very brightly, and then it touches and it illuminates them for a moment.
So Jophiel, each of you watch Jophiel, that are paying attention, walks over and puts a hand on Alex, and Alex's body kind of invigorates with this golden hue for a moment. And you just feel a little bit better, Mr. Dawnkeeper.
I'm quite all right. Thank you for that, though.
Are you sure? You feel as it appeared you seemed ill for a moment.
Had a vision, premonition, whatever you want to call it.
Did you now?
Other than that, I'm fine.
For it to have such a
First time.
for it to have such a physical manifestation upon you, this had to be powerful.
I mean, it felt real, but I knew it was a vision of some sort.
Are you haunted by something?
Well, the whole reason I looked up for Sir Cedric is there's a curse that's over my family.
A curse? Who curses
Now
you?
it comes out.
Our god, Caleb. I think.
Caleb curses you.
Oh, I thought that was just your dad. I thought that's why we were going to find him.
It's every firstborn son.
Ah,
Why does your god curse you?
Well, it starts out as a gift. We're able to create things pretty easily. But the candle that burns twice as bright only lasts half as long, as they say.
I see. The gift.
Burning the candle at both ends, are we?
Yeah, and my father is now fronting the most of it right now.
What are your
Can't get out
father's
of bed.
ailments?
Can't get out of bed, can't eat, constant fever. He lost use of his forging hand 10 years ago. That's what caused me and my sister to pick up the trade.
Mm. Well, now that we know what the problem is, we can start trying to fix it.
But how do you fix a curse from a god?
That is the hard part, isn't it?
You have to read into what they say.
From what I've known, we're doing exactly what they want.
Are you sure?
From what I can tell. All I know is we are bound to create and invent things in his honor.
We need to look into your family tree. And
Yes, maybe the
see-
Conclave will know something as well. There has to be a reason.
All the minds in Ophius cannot figure it out, so that's why I ventured out.
You know, to be fair, Ophius isn't like the hub of religious activity.
We're more creative folk, that's true, but we still follow our god.
We do.
Dawnkeeper, I give you my word. I will do my absolute best to rid your family of this curse.
I, too.
We'll stand together.
Oh no, I'm just in for attention now. I don't like this that much.
As
Cool. Thanks, guys.
as Sir Cedric says this, Sir Cedric, your medallion of the Order of the Ascendant Flame begins to heat up.
Mm-hmm.
You've just declared your first oath, my friend.
Nice. And it's on.
Fucking game on.
Also, like, because I imagine during this conversation, I've kept a hand on Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will cast a second, not really a spell, but my Vigilant Blessing, which was the thing that gave Sir Cedric advantage on his next fight.
Interesting. Okay.
So I
You can
shall do
use
that
that.
as well.
Very cool. All right. So, any other conversation? Or does it go quiet for a while?
Not for my.
It goes quiet because oh no, everyone's talking and looking at me. I don't like this.
So, over the next 2.5 or so hours, you sail down the bay. And I will want everyone to take note that it does seem as though the days are growing shorter. The sun begins to set over the mountains, slowly. And it's not long before you come across something in the distance. Sir Cedric, you can see it. It looks like a ship. You can see the back half of it. And you're thinking you're coming up toward it. But then you can see that it's kind of jutted against a rock. And you can also see the front of it, which is curved to the right. It's hard to see at first, but as you get closer, you can see that it's two halves of a ship that almost look shipwrecked. At this point, gauging your travels before, you're probably not that far from the Eyelit Seal.
Mm-hmm.
Couple 4 to 6 miles.
Does this ship match the profile of one that would come from Eldon's port?
From the Eyelit Warf, or from the port near Serenity, it does have the same like with a glance, it doesn't seem as though it's been shipwrecked for long.
Mm-hmm.
So it does spike your attention. I'll give you a perception check. Just at a glance, because you're not quite up on it yet.
Ooh. That's going to be 17 plus 2. 19.
Okay. So, let's see here.
It's a ship that I would suspect is Alora's. Just based off base information that I know.
Based off of what you know, I would just say that you have a hunch with that roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of, you know, whenever things kind of line up, it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
So,
I guess I'll try to find a place to, wouldn't be dock, but set anchor.
you want to get close-ish, but
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, not just roll up on the ship. Let's say a half mile away, if
Survival
that's
check
possible.
for me?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Survival.
Would you like to aid him?
Yeah.
So, Elith comes up as you're kind of trying to find an area.
Mm.
And she kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. And she begins to kind of point out areas. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Solid. All right, because it was going to be 7 plus 0, but now it's 17 plus 0.
That is a big difference. So you
That's
said
a
about a half
huge-
mile away? Half mile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if possible.
All right, so I would say about 3/4 of a mile back, where the rocks are less treacherous, she points out it's kind of like if you're in, like, down in Destin, like in the Gulf, right? Like there's the ocean, or, well, the Gulf. But there's patches of really clear water that are just not desolate, but isolate. And they're unmoving by the waves. And you kind of find this nice little clear pool, and you set up dock there. Able to just take a small jump off of the oleander to get to the side and then head up if you wish. So you guys make dock here.
I have an inkling that the ship ahead could be what we're looking for, so
It is wrecked.
seems to be, unfortunately. So we'll go and see what the damage is, see if there's anyone we can help or find, or just different signs.
Just judge
These
them.
things can go awry, so do be prepared in case things go how they did last night.
Well, in case you're expecting looters, are there any signs of, like, naval warfare? Okay.
So seeing kind of it in the
Cannonballs.
distance,
Yeah.
seeing it in the distance, you'd have to. I will give you a
Gotta get
perception
closer.
check, but it's going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
So you guys are within view distance of the quote unquote shipwreck from where you're at, but it's 3/4 of a mile away.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, okay. It's for
So yeah. So what'd you roll?
sure. I don't see shit.
He doesn't see anything.
I'll check it out first
Sure.
as well.
It's just kind of a gaze
Still
gaze
really
ahead.
far.
14.
With the 14, is there anything specific you're looking for with a 14?
Instead of looters, I'm actually looking to see if it was like done by natural causes. So it just like ran awry into the rocks or something like that.
Without any magical powers of foresight, it's hard to tell, being that far away. Even with a 14, it's very hard to tell. So,
Okay.
but what I would say, and it's the same thing that Cedric pointed out, it doesn't look like a shipwreck that's been there for long, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's not a something growing or
No,
I
there's no
gotcha.
barnacles overtaking
Yeah.
it. It's not weather beaten.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very much
a well-kept ship that is
Yeah,
now
and
wrecked.
that's literally just by seeing it within 3/4 of a mile. It's still quite a ways
Yeah.
away. It just doesn't look. It doesn't look ran down yet, other than the fact that it's broken in two. So you guys at Oleander, it's docked.
Yep,
you guys can do
we-
what you want here.
Head forward.
Yep,
Only way
that's
I
the
can
plan.
see.
It's very much a sand and rock kind of traversal here. So it's slow. and you're in kind of the waning hours of the day, heading toward twilight. So, dun, 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 dun.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, good lord. We're still in the daytime here.
Oh.
So, as you guys begin to maneuver and you get closer to those of you two that are remote, you can't quite see what I put on display before me. But you see a ship that has been kind of broken in two. But as you get closer, Cedric, question, are you leading the party, Sir Cedric? Is anyone up there with you?
Yeah, I'll front the party.
Okay. You kind of see it first. You can see on the broadside in kind of elven lettering, the Whispering Gale, which is the ship of the woman that you seek. Damn. You can see that it has been kind of broken into at the bow and pushed up against the rocks. And as you get closer and closer, and you can hear the waves crashing up against it, you can't see across the top of it any signs of life, nor dead either. You don't see anyone. So, to those that are here in the room with me, you can see what you're seeing here, kind of amidst the crag rock. You can see the ship pushed up against it with waves crashing up against it. It's broken in two, but still barely held together. You see no figures on the top, but the sails have been broken. It looks as though it's been beat to shit.
Mm-hmm. Is there a sign of struggle?
So go ahead and roll for me. It's still perception unless you get onto the ship. You're kind of on the shoreline currently.
I'll go on to
You want to head atop it?
Yeah, I'll go onto the ship.
All right. So I'm gonna ask for you an athletics check. You can make about a 10-foot leap to get on toward the bow, or you can give me 2 athletics checks that are slightly easier to get on the main kind of broken off piece from the bow. So it's like jumping onto jagged rocks and then scaling them and then taking a short jump onto the front of the ship. Your choice.
I'll take the 2.
Wanna take the 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
the first would be 10 plus 6 is 16.
That's enough. So you make the jump. It's about 12 feet. It's a good jump. Like those that are watching are like, all right, Paladin can jump. All right.
And then
Heavy armor.
it'll be 8 and 6 is 14.
All right. So you kind of you make your way onto the ship. What about the rest of you? Let's get some. I just kicked this again. I apologize. So what about the rest of you? So you see him here. You guys can see the map.
He goes the long way.
He went the long way, so he jumped and then went across and jumped again.
Yeah, I'm
Or
taking
you can
my
do a
athletic ass.
All right.
One big running long jump.
Athletics check.
17.
17. You make it. No problem. All right. What about the rest of you?
I'll get up there next to.
You
I'll
want
get up
to?
there next to Cedric.
All right, so 2 athletics checks. So everyone begins to kind of diverge here, taking different paths of resistance.
14 and 18.
Nice. Okay, so you land next to Cedric here.
I'll try to join Mr. Whitlock.
All right, so a single athletics check.
I will re-roll.
Hey, all right. All right.
You got so close.
All right.
14.
If I see her,
14?
I'll try to. Okay.
Or
She made it.
yes, 14. Yes.
So you hit the side hard. I tell you what, Sir Cedric, you want to roll for me. Give me a dexterity check. Just, it's kind of like a reflex to see if you can help her the rest of the way over before she falls into the water.
Wait.
11 minus 1
Whitlock?
is 10.
Right at 10?
Want to
Yes?
do Whitlock that helps me?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I got your minis confused.
What do you want? Just a.
Acrobatics check, essentially.
Okay,
Cedric
yes.
is Gaius.
Yeah, don't go down that path of trying to introduce old names from different minis. You're going to screw me up even more.
It's a 15.
It's even better. You were about to fall into the water, so thanks for pointing that out. So he grabs you, and he grabs you by the arms, pulls you the rest of the way over.
Oh,
All right, so who else do we got
Sorry.
here?
Yeah, it's fine.
Alex and then Eyelit.
I take the short way, and I got a 17.
Oh, okay. All right, Mrs.
fucking
Eyelit.
ranger right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Doing
Like-
ranger shit.
As Everett is pulling Jophiel over, you just kind of leap over both of them and land acrobatically. And then Mr. Alex Dawnkeeper.
I would have rope.
It's like
Would
I'm
this
not
help?
even trying that
Pulls out
shit.
rope. All
You
right.
see the body like throw himself to the boat, and here's Alex.
What would you like to do, sir?
So is it like a lily pad situation where it's like it's even ground, there's no up, you just have to jump across?
I mean, you're going to the edge of Crag Rock either way to make a jump.
Okay. Okay.
You're jumping down to the ship. It's not level at
It's
any point.
down. Okay.
Yeah, like off the top of a rock with waves crashing around you.
Okay.
But you pull out a rope.
I'll be like, I don't need this anymore. I'll put it back in my backpack. And I'll do 2 smaller athletics.
You want to do this?
jumps.
Okay. All right. So the first one is.
Hey, that works.
You guys are doing a great job at splitting the party here. I like it.
So it's 6.
No one is alone.
Oh,
You watch as Alex goes to jump, and he gets about halfway through the gap, and he falls in the water and begins to drop down into the kind of the waves and the maelstrom. You are currently being pulled under, Alex. Everyone can see this. What would you
Turns
like
out
to
he-
do? You're about 10 feet away from the side of the ship, but it's super hard to swim.
he did need that rope after all, didn't he?
Are there rocks
Where he's at, not so less so.
right off the side of the ship?
No, not
Okay,
quite
I'm
right
going
off.
to dive into the water and go save Alex. I was so trying.
You would have enough movement with your jump. I tell you what, give me an athletics check, followed by an acrobatics.
Okay, so the athletics is a 18.
Yeah, so it is an Olympic style jump into the water. Perfect.
And the acrobatics is only a 10.
With a 10, it's just kind of one of those things. Go ahead and roll for me an Mr. Alex. I'm assuming you want to be saved.
I would prefer that.
He's like,
you know?
no, this was the end.
You feel something grabbing at your cloak and at your backpack. What do you do?
I go to that motion and put my hand out to like grab on.
Koalas.
Everett, you get kind of like palmed into the nose and then into the forehead, and you kind of grab his hand.
Calm down.
Alex, you turn around and you come face to face with Everett in the water.
Hi.
I got you. And I guess we'll go to like the broken bit. That would be the easiest probably to get. Yeah.
God damn it.
So you swim over, Sir Cedric, Eyelit, Andrea, Jophiel. You guys are all watching this play out. It's a bit funny, but also treacherous. Sir Cedric, you passes Jophiel, actually. You notice it first. You're looking up toward the sun, and it begins to eclipse slowly. Uh-oh, Brad has lost his mouse. Oh, here we go, we're fine. No big deal. No big deal.
With all the screens, once it's gone, I feel like it's just gone.
Yeah. Thankfully, we have 6 screens. Yeah.
It's only
4 and
6. It's
2
fine.
are, yeah. Are
So-
not connected.
Sir Cedric, Mr. Paladin, Jophiel, Mrs. Cleric. You sense it first. You detect evil.
Oh, fuck.
You hear these pops and crackles of energy. Shadows begin to run up ahead across the rocks. At least you think they're running, but then they just form. Figures.
Nope.
Oh, he fell over.
Huh?
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
I don't think they like to stand.
No, they don't.
They don't know how to stand or swim.
Graceful.
So here's the thing, I don't have a cam on the battle map, so I will describe it as such. It's a ship that is partially broken into. It's up against the rocks of the sea. All of a sudden, the sun has been blotted out, and it's almost as if moonlight is gazing down across our heroes here. You two, Everett and Alex, are trying to get into the ship. You're pulling him toward it. You're trying to climb up as the sun is blotted out. And then you begin to hear these static charges, as if like portals coming and going into existence. And then you notice all of a sudden, via shadows, there are 4 figures that are all about you. 2 kind of on the rocks, of which some of you have found way onto the ship, and then 2 physically on the ship close to you. And each of them, their spines are curved. Their mouths are agape, their jaws hang low, just like the figure from the other night. Their eyes gleam with a black void, and they rush toward you like effervescent zombie fuckfaces. That's the bourbon talking. Everyone, roll for me initiative.
I think I get it, but I'm in. My thing.
Effervescent fuck faces. So this is what happens whenever I'm sick, and then I take vitamins to make sure that I can DM. Jeez. So, Jophiel?
17.
Oh my god.
21.
21 from Indira?
Mhm.
And then... Elith.
18.
18 from Elith. What about Alex?
10.
Oh, Lord. Cedric?
5 minus 1 is 4.
Everett?
15.
15 from Everett. Okay. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
It could always be worse.
Yeah, we're fairly spread through it.
And I think most of us don't have dark vision.
You're correct.
Like all the way dark or eclipse dark. So
Eclipse dark. There's twilight about,
Okay.
so it's not complete darkness.
Okay. I was gonna say it's gonna be rough.
That's good.
yeah, that
It's
was,
not
See,
the worst.
It could be worse.
At the top of initiative order, Indira. So, behind you, on the rocks where you just made that leap, and in front of you are 2 creatures. What would you like to do? Like I said, the creatures are elongated, their spines are curved like a snake, their jaws hang low. As you look into the mouths, you can see rows of not just like razor sharp teeth, but actual like broken humanoid teeth. You can smell kind of the rot from within their mouths. Their hands don't have fingers, they have kind of claw-like things, like serrated fin-like appendages that kind of drip grease.
ew. Worse.
Crossbow.
Well, crossbow on which one? There's
The
your
one
character
the
right
one
here.
in front of me.
All right, so right in front of you, so that's 5, 10, 15-ish feet away.
Does a 23 hit?
23 does hit.
Damn.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
Tough.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Level 1? Excuse me?
Yeah, it is kind of weird getting off of playing level 20 and then being like,
Fifth
what
edition
hits?
does make it very easy to roll super high, even at level 1. to be
Yeah,
honest.
they really do.
He took 3 damage.
Get 'em.
So you shoot into the chest of the creature that is walking toward you slowly. It hits it, and you expect it as you hit it true right in the heart that it should stop there and cease living, but it doesn't. It continues to walk forward. Anything else with your turn?
I don't have any bonus actions, so no.
Inspire?
I can't. I forgot I had Inspire. I haven't
That's
played-
important.
Is that level 1? I assume it's level 1, right?
You
Inspiration?
get inspiration dice as a bard at level 1?
Yeah.
I would assume so. So you would like to bonus action inspire who? It looks like
Cedric.
Sir Cedric's right now.
Yeah.
What does your inspiration look like? What do you say to Sir Cedric?
Oh, I didn't think.
She just looks at you, Sir Cedric, and is like,
And Cedric's like, yeah!
You got this.
Clear,
you got this!
clear eyes, full hearts can't fail. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Mrs. Elith. Again, behind you across the crag rock, you see a creature standing, but in front of you, a creature has made it onto the ship and is moving toward you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot that.
She's
All
gonna
right.
shoot that.
Shoot it. Pew pew. Oh wait, you don't go pew pew.
I go pew.
Not yet. No pew pews
It's
yet.
more thunk.
It's single pew.
Thunk thunk. What'd you get? Oh, doing
Does it?
that.
But yeah, that should hit 24.
24 does hit. All right, the girls are rolling hot. Let's go.
23, 24. Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
10 damage.
Oh, damn.
That's sexy for level 1.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
So
Turns out Molly
this is with-
carries.
This is with a longbow, crossbow, hand crossbow. What is it?
Longbow.
So you draw your longbow and you fire into the head of this creature, expecting an immediate kill shot. It kind of falls back, and then it rolls forward and continues to walk toward you.
Ew.
Anything else with your turn? You gonna stand your ground, or would you like to move?
I'm not jumping.
You are right here.
I'm not jumping there. I'll just stay there.
All right.
I don't think you can come this way, I think, without jumping.
Jophiel, you're right here next to her.
Yeah.
I can't see the sheet just in case it happens. If anything enters my 5-foot area, I can make an opportunity attack. With
Understood.
Master.
Okay.
I just can't see the map, so I don't.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
to
gonna work on
interrupt.
that. I'm gonna pick
Got
up
that
another
No, and you're
cam
fine.
just for this.
Just
I
in
didn't
case
have
it
one for
happens.
tonight.
I just want everyone to know. I want that to happen in case it does.
I need one more C920 to make it a reality.
I'm gonna fire a guiding bolt at the one behind.
On the rocks?
The one closer to Sir Cedric and
On the ship or on the rocks, closer to Sir
Indira.
Cedric and Indira.
the one that's on the rocks,
Okay.
not on the ship.
So you're shooting a guiding bolt across
yeah.
the way here.
Yeah.
So it lights up the night sky.
You got this.
I don't got this.
Maybe you got this.
Maybe.
Perhaps you have it?
Don't
Perhaps.
doubt yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration. Why not?
Oh.
I did give you one of those,
It's
didn't
a
I?
pretty bad. I mean, can't
Pretty
get any
bad
worse
roll, huh?
except
have
like
one.
one more. It was a 2.
You have
Is inspiration? Is that just another die 20? Is that what that is?
Yeah, you get to so when I hand out inspiration dice, you just get to re-roll a die 20. Yeah.
Sweet, because
19
I have it too. I just didn't know if it
Yeah.
was carrying over. Like
Yeah,
the
so just
previous-
take if I give you like an inspiration dice or a DM dice, whatever, just you can re-roll a die 20 of your choice.
nice. Nice.
9. Oh.
Or you can use it as an auto. You can keep it and use it as an auto success on a death saving throw.
Oh, that's
Oh
nice.
fuck!
Yeah.
19.
19 does
hit.
hit. So you light up the night sky as an arcing guiding bolt shoots across and hits the creature broadside.
18 radiant.
How do you do it? Wow. Woof.
as it shoots across. Oh no.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll get back to it. No
As
worries.
it shoots across, it hits it square on, and I assume it can scream or something.
It makes no noise as you hit it.
So as it makes a thud sound though. As it
No,
hits
the spell makes more like a static shock and a sizzle sound.
and like as the radiance kind
There
of
we go.
explodes upon it, it almost eats at the shadows
Wow.
until it like becomes either nothing or a pile of body, whatever you want to call it.
Very cool.
That is my action.
All right, so you take 1 kill. Very nice.
And then I don't think I've got anything for a bonus action. I don't think that's an action to do. There's not anything, so but what I will do, and I know this is kind of cowardly, I will go on the other side of the leathered ranger that's shooting, or not ranger, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, ranger, yeah, the ranger who's leathered and looks a little more tougher than me right now.
You slide
that's
about
bad.
15 feet
Listen,
around the
I don't-
ranger,
My
who's
AC's
taking
11.
ranged point.
Yeah, but it's still bad when you're like, please, Leather Ranger, save me.
All right, Everett. You're in the water.
Oh, okay, cool. I want to not be in the. Well, I gotta make sure he's not in the water.
You know, that's a lot of difficult terrain.
Yeah,
You're
well.
likely to get 5 feet out of it.
You're standing in the wreckage of the corner of the ship, so you're standing, but you're in difficult terrain, like she said.
Okay, is
guys are-
Alex safe though?
Yeah, you guys are both safe.
His head's above water.
Yeah, you guys are just both kind of like standing on bits of the ship and bits of rock. You're just kind of swaying, kind of in a small pool of water.
Cool.
You can see a creature right in front of you. I would say with as far as you guys are down, you can only see the enemy across the way.
Okay.
Unless you climb up into the ship.
About how far is he?
5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
That's hand axe range. Let's go.
So you grab a hand axe and you just fling it across
That's awesome.
the water.
I could
That's
throw
actually, it's a pretty good scene there. I like that.
I haven't seen very many hand axes used, so that's kind of cool.
20.
I love level 1 combat because you guys use things like ball bearings and hand axes and javelins. I miss this shit.
21.
21 does hit.
Let's go.
Fuck 5th edition whenever it comes to level 1 to hit, though.
Ah.
Like, I haven't heard a fucking 9, a goddamn 15. It's like, nah, 27.
You almost
Let's
heard a
go.
9.
I know.
I rolled a
it.
9.
I'm talking a
plus
lot of
4.
shit. What's your damage, sir?
Boa.
4. Hey, 4 not bad. 4 not bad.
I made
Chip
the
You
away.
embed the axe into the thigh of the creature with a wet thud as it just kind of looks down at it and then continues to maneuver. It kind of dives into the water head first and then begins to kind of very zombie-like swim in your direction. What would you like to do?
That is
Oh, that's
disgusting.
fucking freaky. Yeah. So I would kind of reach to like try to find something else, and
Yeah.
like you see Everett kind of grab onto a broken sword that's about dagger length,
Uh-huh.
like half pull it, stuff it back in his belt, and grab Alex. And I'm gonna use my movement to drag him further up.
Sure.
So if
You can
that
use
only
your-
means 10 foot.
I will
Maybe,
allow
like,
you to
5
use
feet, right?
Yeah,
Or 10 feet.
you can use your full movement to drag him into less difficult terrain. Right here, kind of on the precipice of the ship. There. Yeah. So you guys are a little bit better off here. Next turn, it would take about half of each other's movement to get onto the main baseboards of the ship.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be too bad. What, Brookie? What's the matter? Everything okay? Okay. All right. So is that your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Alex, it is your turn. You've been dragged up onto the ship after almost drowning, and you can see that all of a sudden the sun is just its crest, and there's moonlight, and there's monsters.
Monsters.
What a lovely day. What a lovely day. I'm gonna use half my movement to get up to not in water.
Gotcha.
And now starts predicament of being a firearm user because my gun is now wet.
Yeah, it is wet.
Wet guns don't work so good.
Very wet.
You have an enemy to your left, right in front of you, and to your right. But they are all very evenly distanced, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are. That's
About
wow.
40, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to 35 feet, 30 to 40 feet is each enemy. Kind of in a triangle pattern. So with wet gun, how we doing? What we doing?
Well, I'm gonna go thematically here. I'm gonna like, this will work. I have a little pennant on my collar.
Yeah.
I boop it with light.
Sure.
20 foot of bright light and then 20 foot of dim light. After that, I'll reread the
Okay.
spell
Light.
real quick.
You're casting light.
Yeah.
I'm casting light.
Yes. It's a great spell.
Yeah, so
Last
bright
one.
light for 20 feet and then dim light for additional 20 feet after that.
Very
so
cool.
we can see.
I was gonna say things
Whoa.
were about to get very interesting if it got darker. So
You and me can see.
Yeah,
yeah,
for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite completely dark yet, but the light
and
is a
then-
good beacon.
So this is me going out
Interesting.
on a whim.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out my gun and then reload because that shot is not gonna work.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're just getting it ready. All right.
Yeah.
So is that
And
going to be
that'll
your,
be my
your
turn.
All right. Understood. So at the end of your turn, it's now the creature's turn.
Oh no.
Whatever.
One of the creatures comes running kind of Dawn of the Dead style toward Elith. Here we go.
I believe in you, Elif.
Don't
You can take a hit.
You gotta.
I do.
I could
Don't
only
get
if
crit.
you did or not.
What,
Yeah,
what-
don't get crit.
My advice: don't die.
Just don't die.
It's alright. The cleric's literally right behind you.
Ooh, does an 11 hit?
Yep.
No.
That is my AC! It's working!
Ranger shield working.
I rolled a 7 plus 4 2 times in a row.
Oof.
The creature runs up and slashes toward you. You duck, and then it reaches toward your face, and you lean back, and your little creature friend swipes the hand away.
Hilarious.
Ranger shield still up.
Ooh.
Oh no, he fell!
One of the creatures jumps into the water, and it's having a hell of a time trying to swim forward.
He's got
How
a hatchet in his
unfortunate.
leg.
The third creature works its way toward Indira and Sir Cedric. It notices that Indira is much less prepared, armor-wise, than Sir Cedric, and attacks her.
Poor Andrea.
I'm not wearing armor.
Oh, you're not wearing armor?
No, I'm trying to save up gold for some good armor.
Okay, so let me.
Oh shit.
This is important then. So what are you wearing, Indira?
Studded leather armor.
And you're just wearing the cloth.
And a shield.
Cloth.
Cloth,
Yes,
but you
I
have
have
a
a
shield in
shield.
He does
front of
have
you.
a
But
shield
yeah,
out the
yeah,
front,
I
so
wear
which-
my clothes. I wear clothes.
We're close.
He attacks you.
I look good. I like
Sir
buffing my
Cedric.
clothes.
Does the 16 hit you, Sir Cedric?
The faithful
does.
do not need armor. That's what
Can
I'm
I
hearing.
Can I make my attack real fast?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
he
yeah.
entered your range. This is actually very important
Oh yeah, pull.
because you would make this
master.
first.
Okay. So
Thanks for
13
reminding
and 13 and 7 is 20.
Does hit, yes.
Good.
This one's been hit before as well.
6 and 4 is 10.
And this is with the spear, right?
It is, yes.
You literally spear him into the chest, thinking it's a killing blow. But then he begins to grab at it, and he pulls himself forward, and then he slashes into you. Quite a dastardly sight. You take 5 points of slashing damage and 2 necrotic damage.
Oh.
Ouch.
Ah,
That's rough,
that
man.
is a lot.
The creature ends its turn there, That is all 3. It is now your turn, Cedric. So you have him on your spear. So whatever
Right,
you
we
do
want
this
him.
turn, I'll allow you to do. You can have
Perfect.
advantage on everything unless it's your spear. You're gonna have to rip it free and then attack.
Shield bash him.
But if you wanted to improvise something here, I would allow it with advantage because you have him. You have him skewered. You
Yeah,
are.
could I attack with the shield?
Yeah, I think so. I think shield bash is a great improvised weapon. We'll just base it off of your athletics.
You are at
Sweet.
the edge of the boat, too.
Yeah, you are at the edge of the boat too.
So 12 plus 6 would
Yes.
be enough.
Yeah, so
So
roll for me.
He's
I want you to roll for me
With a shield,
Can you imagine if
with
he
the
just...
shield. What's your strength, by the
just
way?
lights up.
18.
I want you to roll a die 8
you.
strength mod proficiency bonus.
Blows him off.
I think that for this campaign, that Sir Cedric should have a shield bash, and I think that's pretty cool.
8, 4, and 2 is 14.
Ooh, nice. How would you like to do it?
Yeah, so the spear's just stuck in there.
It is.
And,
You have him in the spear in one hand, but then you take the shield and you do what?
Yeah, no, so I'll keep him taut with the spear, and I'll just rear back with the shield, and then just blast through the head. And if it's incorporeal, I guess I'll just go through it, and if it's not,
He's
I guess
not
I'll just take it
incorporeal.
off.
It's very much a physical being. You just kind of bludgeon it to death slowly
Yeah.
as it keeps trying to cling to life. Eventually, with like clotted blood across your cloth and your shield, it eventually stops moving.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anything else with your turn, sir?
So there was the one that was up there with us, where we are
Yeah,
now.
there's another one in the water, and there's another one
Okay.
attacking Jophiel and Andrea.
We're about
Okay,
50
so I
feet
would
away
move
from
as
So
you.
they're
close as I
about
can.
they're about 50 feet away.
Okay.
So how much movement speed you got?
30. So I'll move as close as I can to them.
You've made it
and-
really close to Alex Dawnkeeper, so you're about midway on the ship. You still got a good bit to go, but you're close. Ish.
Nice.
Halfway there, maybe a little more. with a Baldur's Gate 3 style athletics check kind of jump, you could probably make it there next turn.
Hell yeah.
Is that your turn, sir?
It is.
Indira, what would you like to do?
I gotta rethink my plan. I was gonna hit the dude in front of us.
Yeah, there's one in the water, and there's one across the way attacking some of your other allies. See, Brooke can actually reach the,
So
the
I'll
board.
turn around and I'll shoot at the one in the water.
Sure. So he's so with like ranged attacks, he's very much prone. So you do have
And in
disadvantage on the attack.
So water, I think, would be disadvantaged too.
Yeah. So it's a hard hit because it's dark. There is some light, but he's in the water. He's trying to swim. So roll 2 die 20s, take the lowest, and then add your modifier. I forbid you to roll anyone at this table, by the way, not just you. I forbid each of you to roll dice into a dice tray filled with dice. Please roll
I do.
into a dice tray that isn't
do it a
filled with
lot.
dice. Because
You
my
even-
goodness.
I have 2
What'd you roll, natty 1?
Rolled a 2, but it's 4.
Yes, you miss.
Aww.
That's a good miss. Anything else with your turn?
No.
You want to move any?
Oh,
You want to inspire anyone?
Yeah, go ahead and move. You can inspire.
But not Cedric. He's already inspired.
I am.
Did you see that shield bash?
So Cedric also got hit hard.
Yeah, he did.
I did.
Probably does not feel well.
He's gonna.
No,
That's gonna be
I don't
loud
feel-
in the morning.
He's like,
What do you
I
want to
feel
do?
less than half as good as
Do you want to
normal.
inspire anyone?
Yeah.
You don't want to? You want to hold on to it, or
Good
do
news.
you
is
only
you
have
can
one
good touch
inspiration die?
yourself for at least
Yeah, I
most of
think-
that.
I think I only have 1,
Oh, okay.
so.
All right. So
Inspiration? I think you have a proficiency amount. Or is it based off of your...
I don't know how many
It's based off
Charisma.
I'll figure it out.
charisma.
Yeah,
What's your
charisma.
charisma modifier?
Oh, +2, so I should have 2.
So you have 2.
Never mind.
You have one more.
Who else would you like to inspire? You have Alex.
Alex,
You have Everett. Alex, you are inspired.
you got
Alright.
this.
Elith. There's a creature in front of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab it.
All right, let's go. See, I thought you were gonna play a rogue. I like the idea that you're playing a ranger.
Yeah, we thought you were a rogue.
Yep.
I literally thought about it.
We
but
thought your
then-
ferret was gonna like steal money from people.
It's not a ferret.
That'd be great.
It's a ferret.
It's a ferret. I called it a muskrat.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Was that intentional?
That NPC didn't know what it was.
It was. He was making fun of it.
I thought you were just like, it's a fuzzy little long thing. Muskrat.
What's your to hit, ma'am?
I got a 20.
The 20 does hit. Natural 20 or unnatural?
Unnatural.
All right. Unfortunate. It is what it
I have
is.
silvery barbs. I could have used that
That
on my roll.
was beautiful.
You need to remember your
Whenever
abilities.
he got hit, you should have
I
silvery
didn't-
barbed
I-
it so that you could have helped him.
Silvery barbs.
I
My bane
thought I
of
could only
existence.
use it on like
I hate
Gab.
that spell.
4,
I hate it.
8
I hate
damage.
it.
That is a
8 damage?
That's a D4.
Yeah.
Wow, it is.
How would you like to do it, ma'am?
I'd like to stab him towards the neck area and like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to like
So you
trying to
stabbed
find
his
the
neck,
wo-
and
the
then
wording for it.
Yeah. Well, you stab him in the neck.
where does the
Okay.
blade go now?
Decapitate? You want his head to
No.
leave his body?
Dust flies out, comes back in, falls.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
okay.
what? Why does it do that, though?
Because
Look at
he
that.
wants it to
Oh,
look,
yeah,
he
okay.
wants it to look dope and anime
Okay.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It is as she describes. Right before you, Jophiel, she seems to be quite the combatant.
Fuck yeah.
What I will say
She's a
now,
great shield.
as my last creature is within the waters, we will exit initiative as you see the creature trying to crawl its way through the water toward you.
It's
What would
a
you guys
drowned.
like to do?
I
It's
want to help.
essentially like a drowned, yeah.
Which
I want to help Everett get out of the water because he saved my life.
Everett's hand axe is in that thing.
I'll
He's
guide him.
going to get it.
I will
Guidance
give you
for
a hand
Dawnkeeper.
axe.
Oh, okay.
He has inspiration and
That's
guidance.
fine.
Yeah, inspiration and guidance.
I'm going to
Fucking
get out of
kill
the
it.
water.
He's the only one that hasn't got to shoot yet.
Yeah, shoot
Yeah.
that fucker.
Alex, you walk somberly toward the edge of the ship. You look at the creature, its eyes blazing. It's trying to get toward you. You see the hand axe buried in it. You want to shoot it?
I need that hand axe back, and then I shoot.
All right, go and roll an attack.
You have guidance and inspiration.
Yeah, so
Don't miss.
Let
it
her
is.
rip.
It is.
Don't roll a
with
one.
where you're shooting down, it's a hard shot. It's disadvantaged, but with guidance and inspiration, call it a straight up roll with the guidance.
Okay.
Yay! I helped.
So 5 plus
You helped too.
19.
Totality, it
3
is.
plus 4. It's like a 26.
It's a hit.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a hit. I don't have a die 8. Fuck.
I'm
Hang on.
gonna start taking away inspiration now, motherfucker.
No dates.
What the fuck?
7.
You mean you don't have a date?
What the fuck is this? No dates?
How would you like to do it, Alex Dawnkeeper? How would you like to end this encounter?
For the flare, I want to aim at where the axe is. I shoot it. It flies back closer to where Everett can retrieve it.
You shoot it right at the base of the axe. It arcs down into the creature, into bone, shooting into its anatomy, and eventually it goes still as the axe swirls end over end back toward Everett as he grabs it in one hand. The rest of you looking at this like one of the greatest feats of circusry that you've
Was a
ever
feat.
seen.
Yeah, okay.
As the combat encounter ends.
There you go, Mr. Everett. I got your
I
axe
love
back.
that. She's like, yeah, okay. This was literally a 1 in a million thing.
It's like they didn't practice that.
They didn't
is
We
practice.
can tell. We
Just
can
luck.
tell. We've gone through our performance over
Alex
here.
can't even. He can't even carry a crate.
Are you sure
I
as
can
hell can
shoot, though.
Alex
shoot a gun.
He can't even carry a crate. Oh, fuck. That's gonna be what you're known for. Trust the land.
Dawnkeeper.
Can't carry a
Carry
shooter.
a crate.
Like can't carry a crate.
Yeah, this is your two
You gotta
silver
say
moment.
that every time you fail something
It
now.
is a 2 silver moment.
Oh
Fine.
my god! That could be a saying. Where every time Alex does something that wasn't
I
correct,
can,
can't carry a crate.
I
Can't
can
even-
kill monsters, can't carry a crate.
Hell yeah.
The moniker is real, my friend. But as you kill the fourth creature, everything goes still. But the sunlight doesn't return. You guys are on said ship. Things go quiet. What'd you guys like to do?
I sort of slumped down non-ceremoniously.
You good?
Physically, yes.
Okay, are you trying to get me killed? Your sister will kill me if I don't bring your hide
I'm gonna
back
heal.
alive.
Sir Cedric.
Sir Cedric, Jophiel walks over to you and puts a hand on your shoulders. You feel healing energy.
You're full healed.
You are
Oh,
full
nice.
healed.
I healed you for 8. That's your full, like 7. What you got hit for?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, she immediately goes up to you and touches you, and you're healed.
In my defense, there's not a jungle gym outside my house in Elpheus. I didn't expect to do that on my adventures.
I mean, I was getting ready to say there's not a jungle gym at my house either, but
There is, isn't
there's
there?
obstacle courses that.
That's
Of
a
course.
grown-up jungle gym.
Yeah, that's
Let's
fair.
be real.
Grown-up jungle gym.
You're right. You're right.
Sir Cedric, I admire your bravery, but I feel as though you and I do not need to be as close as we are to battles. It appears we are at a disadvantage compared to our other party members.
Says the people who didn't fall into water.
I mean, I do have questions. Not so much for you, Jophiel. I literally just watched you walk out of prison. But, Sir Cedric,
Uh huh.
you're a paladin of
I am.
the Conclave. Do they not provide any sort of protection?
Not as of yet.
It's like you gotta gather
Earn
your
your
own
stripes.
supplies. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you have to
I
really
think
earn
it's
your
a 5-year
stripes.
thing to get you plate mail.
Oh,
Did earn a boat,
he does own a boat.
and something about a wagon and a horse. Those are not.
Those aren't cheap to maintain.
You can't have everything.
Just the armor wasn't on the priority list. Let's see.
Well, you have to be able to travel.
He does wear
When
a
you're
shield
doing the work
well.
of the gods.
He does have to travel for work.
Yeah.
Do they pay for your expenses on the road? How does that work?
Yeah.
No, not to my knowledge, at least, not yet. Maybe I'll work into that kind of.
So you're literally doing all this just out of the kindness
Out of the goodness
of
of your heart.
I walk in the light every day that I breathe.
Yes, sir, you do.
So how did you get this position? Did you find a pamphlet? Did you go to a seminar? What happened?
No, effectively my whole family's bloodline has been involved with the conclave in some way or another. It's only natural that I step into those shoes.
Oh, okay.
My father would agree with you wholeheartedly.
I think 5 generations of Chamberlain have worked in the conclave.
Very noble.
I'd like to think so.
It hasn't hit you yet, but Mrs. Jophiel, you begin to think back of the vision you had and the bits of memory that are there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's the fact that you're traveling with a Chamberlain currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember a name. And you look at Sir Cedric, and you remember the name, and in your mind, they don't look identical, but there's similar features. You knew him as Castiel.
Castiel?
Mm-hmm.
I very awkwardly stare at Cedric, like longer than like normal, as I remember the previous Chamberlain before him.
He just notices Jophiel stares at you for a while. Which probably isn't too out of the ordinary for her.
Yeah. Something on your mind, Jophiel?
How many of your family walked this path?
5 generations.
Did any have the first name of Castiel?
Yes, that was my great-great-grandfather. Castiel, he fought beside Elendor against Voidrith.
Does the name Elendor ring a bell? I can't remember. Is that one of the 3?
He's one of the 13.
One of the 13.
Okay.
One of you. So as he says that, it's like a bell ringing inside your mind, and immediately you can think of every name of the 13, your brothers and sisters. I think this would be a moment where you have a bit of a wake-up call that, well, you've woken up. And the times have changed. And there's a lot of missing information in your mind.
Are you alright, Jophiel?
I think you broke her.
You seem a bit disheveled.
I know Elendor.
You do? Well, I mean, he is... Of course, he's one of the 13. They're taught to us.
Yeah, everyone kind of knows them.
He was such a
Tim?
strong and forward person.
So,
Like one yourself.
wait, Jophiel, you're insinuating that you know Elendor personally?
Like you met the man.
Like, no, yeah.
You have? In a vision, in your dreams, or?
It's gotta be a vision. There's no possible way, right?
He was my brother. He was so fierce. Among all of my siblings.
So, you're like Cedric's great aunt?
No, she's speaking of Elendor,
okay.
not of Castiel.
I'm so
So you hit your head really hard sometimes. I mean,
So here's the fun part. Because this is getting it gets a little deep in the weeds. There are 2 Castiels.
Yeah, there is.
There is one of the 13, and then one of the lineage of Chamberlain, I believe.
That's fun. That's really
But
fun. But one's a girl, one's a boy.
So I renamed one of them to make it easier on you guys,
okay.
but I don't think you've looked at it yet.
I didn't see that, no. Yeah, it's Castiel now.
Yeah, so
No, it's all good.
Interesting turn of events.
picked
that we
up
would
that
both
they
get the
were
name Castiel.
Almost-
So
yeah.
Castiel is Sir Chamberlain's great-great-grandfather. Cassiel
CL
is one of your brethren. Elindor is one of your brethren. So to aid, hey, this is what whiskey dice. We've all been drinking. Other than kids, it's fine. No
My
big
PC
deal.
is not smart nor wise.
Understood.
He's
Understood.
neither
devout.
one.
He is
So-
devout.
He's
He
devout.
would need a lot of
If
pushing
there's
to
a fake
connect
stat,
dots.
he's got that
devout.
like maxed.
Yeah,
As you-
clip it. I'm
As-
devout, not
as you-
smart
as
or
you
wise.
two are having, as you two are having this conversation, Sir Cedric, the girls have been meandering around the ship, and they found something. It seems to be a letter of sorts. You girls have you come across, you're digging through as they're talking, you find something, and you just feel compelled to bring it to Sir Cedric. But you've read over it already. But you guys can do what you want here. You have it. It seems very important. What would you like to
Cedric, we found something.
do? They're yelling across the
We
ship.
did.
Cedric!
We found something.
I'm coming.
Run faster!
I'm coming!
It's important.
Yeah, I'll run to see what they have.
Oh, Alex. They've obviously had head trauma, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You're the smart one.
To you two, this
Head
is
trauma.
weird.
So, brain damage is a thing. However,
I've seen people knock stupid. This has
So-
to be a rare form.
so thought experiment time, right? We saw her come out of the God Beast.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
saw
don't know
you're
how long
blocking
she
the
was
thing.
in there for.
There you
We
go.
don't know if time moves differently inside the God Beast, outside the God Beast. So, I'm just saying, could be possible.
Okay.
We're just not used to it. We're used to being here where
Yeah.
we're
yeah.
lucky if we hit 75.
I'll take a could be possible from you. That'll work. They're not crazy.
She's watching as you guys have this conversation.
yeah.
Like she's
Yeah,
dead
yeah,
up just watching the two of you.
I just
They're just talking about me right
I
now.
just assume you're fucking openly crazy at this point.
So
she won't remember it anyways.
I can't be the only one who's freezing from being in the water, right? I'm gonna try to fix that.
Oh, I mean, I'm cold, yeah, but I mean, it is what it is.
The waters aren't overly freezing this time of year. But I would say that there's very much a chill in the air. I'll give you that. For sure.
Is
Are you cold?
I'm in the process of making a fire on a ship, so yeah, pretty cool.
You trying
No,
to get a
it's-
fire going on top of the ship?
Yeah.
Do you
It's technically
need-
a shipwreck at this point.
Yeah, it's a shipwreck. Yeah.
Do you need assistance?
What's the past tense of what was a ship? Is it shipwreck? Or
shipwreck?
Yeah, I think you just get out of the realm of it being a past ship, and it's just a shipwreck at this
Yeah.
point. It's like a whole new
Okay.
thing.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
trying to rewrite
English.
The
Words.
dictionary.
A wrecked ship.
I'd take it up with Webster's.
a wrecked ship or a wrecked
Webster's a
ship.
funny guy.
Anyway,
Can I read the letter?
Yeah.
so you two have read it. You hand it to Sir Cedric. So it says, Master Seal Keeper, Lorien Cloudtide, a late seal Wraithul. Dearest Lorien, I hope this missive finds you in good health and high spirits. As per our long-standing agreement, the Whispering Gale has continued its faithful service, delivering the necessary supplies to your esteemed conclave. However, it is with a heavy heart that I am troubled, and I would like to mind you, and I pin this particular note. Over the course of our last few voyages, my crew and I have observed a series of unsettling occurrences along the coastline near our docking point for the Eyelit Seal. Shadowy figures, men and women both, have been spotted watching our ship and what can only be described as predatory interests. These sightings have been more frequent and bold, occurring even under the light of the noon sun. I have refrained from making our concerns public, fearing to spread undue alarm amongst the crew and those we serve, yet I cannot shake the feeling that these watchers are not mere bandits or curious locals. There is an air of malice about them, a sense of purpose that I find deeply disconcerting. I urge you, my friend and my love, to take these reports seriously and to increase your vigilance around the Eyelit Seal. Whatever interest these shadows have in our operations, I fear it may not bode well for the security of the seal and the safety of those who protect it. I remain, as ever your faithful servant and ally and lover, Captain Alora Moonshade, Whispering Gale.
God damn it. I should have spoke up. And I'll kind of crumple the letter in frustration.
Oh, what did it say?
Did you read it aloud?
Yeah.
He read it aloud.
Ah, fuck.
Did you?
Don't crumple it. Give it.
Everett,
I'll hand it over.
it seems that someone had a fancy for someone, and that only makes sense to you.
We gotta go to the next town up. And we gotta
Yep.
make harbor.
The Eyelit Seal, currently Sir Cedric, is 4 to 6 miles up the coast. It's not far. It seems that the Whispering Gale made it close, but not far enough.
Shit.
But yeah,
I'm sure.
with the 10 investigation that you girls rolled, you quietly take Sir Cedric down into the bows of the ship, and you can see that near a dozen individuals were gathered together and mercilessly dispatched. Among them, an elven woman.
By the light. We need to bury them.
Is all of you come aware of this, I'm assuming? Everyone makes it known. They were seemingly killed on deck and then dragged into the bows of the ship.
I pull out my flute and I play a little honor, like funeral.
Oh, we get to hear her.
Wait,
Performance check
I
with
also
advantage.
I also have a flute.
Performance check, both of you with
Oh,
advantages.
she was teaching her.
Rosie, kitty cat.
What's this one?
Rosie,
Hold on.
no, don't pull on the webcam cord.
Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
that.
If I don't roll good, this is gonna suck so bad.
I'm nat 20.
19.
Hey,
Damn. They play it well.
The music is
Oh, it's so
inspiring.
bad in here.
I helped Sir Cedric in whatever capacity I can to help bury the dead.
Yeah.
You guys want to take the rest of the
Yes.
day?
The day, yeah.
Also,
Do
it.
any personal effects that were on the elf, I'll take this.
It seems that everything has been scavenged, other than this letter. This letter you found literally sat on her chest as if they left it there on purpose.
Yeah.
Everything else was dug clean. They were not ravaged. When I say they were mercilessly killed, it seems like whatever killed them went for either the heart or main arteries, decapitation, quick deaths.
They didn't suffer.
It doesn't look like they suffered, but it was quick, and that is terrifying. But what's coming to you now, Cedric, and to someone else within the party that may know of the Seal Keeper, it looks like the one that was bringing the Elite Seal their supplies also had a vested interest, lovingly wise, to the master of the seal himself. So that's what kind of hits some of you in the heartstrings. But over the next couple hours into the essential sunset and into the night, you guys begin to bury the bodies along the bay. When it's all said and done, you guys come back together and now can decide what you would like to do next.
Who is the captain of the ship?
I mean, I guess it's
So
Would it be the
this
Elven
ship, the
woman?
Whispering Gale,
Would it be the Elven woman?
yeah.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah,
Alora Moonshade was the captain of this ship, the one that's wrecked.
I have a spell, but I'm not sure if it really does a lot in this situation. So it's ceremony. So I spend the next 10 minutes, actually, it's an hour. Spend the next 10 or an hour.
You could have spent the
crafting it.
last hour working
And
on it
a
as you aided.
and it's a
as
ritual.
You aided everyone. Okay.
And what it does is it allows me to do a funeral rite, and the purpose of it is so that she doesn't become undead. But for the next 7 days. But I mean, it's essentially just for the flair of the fact that it's a funeral rite that I can do.
For the flair.
Yeah.
The thing is specifically Sir Cedric, specifically Jophiel, there's been creatures, humanoid creatures close to you that you've seen recently that have changed drastically. The figures that you slain this evening were not just mere monsters. They were people, but disoriented, changed.
Twisted.
So you can't help but to think as you begin to cast these spells. And Sir Cedric, you notice her casting this spell, but even you yourself can't identify it to Elmadan, Eliel, or Essos. You're not sure where the power comes from, as the light is different. You cast it in hopes that these creatures don't come back, like that of which attacked you recently. But as you look at the dead of the creatures that you slain this night, you can see that they are among wearing the same kind of garb that the individuals of this ship were wearing. There is something out there taking over bodies, or seeking into the minds of creatures and taking them over.
Yeah.
Something is happening.
We should probably burn the dead, actually.
Perhaps, yes. Especially if whatever is corrupting these bodies to be void-bound is taking the bodies themselves and almost reanimating them, like necromancy.
Can we take this elf with us?
Take the what?
Can we take the elf with us?
Yes, there's room on the boat for her.
Already preserved her body. I don't think she will be touched by anything the next week or so.
It's not about that.
I think he would want to take care of whatever arrangements. Speaking from personal experience.
There's someone expecting her. I'm gonna see that she gets there.
She may have a chance for silver coins then. So take her, and we'll burn the rest.
So the rest of the bodies you begin to... You've already buried some of them within the sands. Some of you are adequately equipped to superheat said sand in a way that could burn the bodies that are beneath. But Everett would like to take Mrs. Moonshade with you.
And she was the one I did the funeral rite on.
So where would you guys like to take her?
I guess to the Eyelit Seal.
Yep. To the seal.
Would you guys like to push on this night to the Eyelit Seal?
Yeah, if it's only a few miles, it should only take about
Is
an
it-
hour.
Yeah, it was
Or
it was
so.
It's
5
only
miles.
a few
right?
miles.
Is
yeah.
it night
Yeah.
or eclipse?
It's
Like, is it
now
still-
night.
It's dark
The eclipse
now.
is
Yeah.
faded, and now it's nighttime.
Okay.
But you're only a few miles away.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
want
I'll
to push
push on
on
for
then?
the evening.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sir Alex Dawnkeeper, are you able to maintain a light while we travel?
Yeah, well, you want it.
The front of the
If-
ship.
The ship doesn't
possible.
have a torch or a lantern, yes. The front.
What's the front of the boat look like? Is there like a figure? on the
you
front
can
of
ask Sir Cedric.
it? I was asking Sir Cedric that.
Yeah.
Be like a nice thin long boat, and it's got one of those like longer tips, like those thin kind of boat. I don't know what to call it. It like protrudes out like 7 or 8 feet, like a thin little. It's like
Like
a
a-
plank, but for the front of the ship, and it comes
Above
up.
average, some might say.
Yeah.
Above average. I won't walk the plank, but I'll get
Like 7
I'll
or
get
8
to as
feet.
I'll get to as front of the boat as I can comfortably, and then just boop the front of it.
You boop the front of the ship. Understood. There is a light that guides you forward. It's a bit of a somber evening as you press forward along the fringeland bays and eventually come to a bit of an abandoned dock, one that would be used to then dock out and then transfer cargo to the Eyelit Seal and then further on to Wraithul or even Noth Lobrak. Would you guys like to get off the ship and head toward the seal?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as you approach the seal, it's utter darkness, and as you get closer, the more dark it gets, as there is something in the skyline that begins to blot out the moon itself. Eventually, you come to rows of oaken logs that are slit with banded steel. A bit of a fortification, and you come to a gate that is beyond whatever it is in the distance that is blotting out the moon. You can see torchlight about this, whatever it is, this gate or door. And as you look up, you can see more torchlight and movement within the shadows.
I'm gonna cast Eyes of Twilight, so everyone has dark vision for the next 10 minutes.
As you cast this and
Which
you look,
grants 300 feet.
you can look and see that there's a fortification made out of wood and oaken logs, or oaken logs, not just wood. It is wood, oaken logs into the kind of a massive door. Right? Think of like
Is there a
fantasy
knock?
fort. There's not a knock, but there's people patrolling along the top. Think
Can
of like
can I hail one?
yeah, it does seem that there are those that are watching you, but they've been silent as you've gotten closer, almost inspecting you.
Yeah.
You do see one closer than the rest. And you hail, what do you say?
You there. We have one of your fallen. Well, one of yours seems as though there's a vested interest in this unfortunate lady. Seems to be a supplier of yours.
You should go wake Laura and tell him Everett Whitlock's here.
Give me a persuasion check, Everett.
I don't do those. I don't do those.
I'll give you advantage because of what Sir Cedric has said.
Oh. Oh, okay. Persuasion?
Yeah.
22.
There's very much silence, and you can kind of see up on the precipice of these wooden walls. They're beyond whatever it is that's blotting out the moonlight. You can vaguely hear. Go and wake the seal master. And you can hear running. But no one replies to you for a while. And eventually, more lights begin to sprout up. And someone does come. As you look up atop the gate, you can see just shadows of a man, even in dark vision. There's silence. You're going to have to forgive me, but someone told me that someone asked me by my name. Who is it that hails out there?
An old friend.
Ooh, an old friend.
Oh,
Of what isle do we hail, old friend?
Ophius.
I think... Go ahead.
A lifetime ago.
I think that I would bet any of the men in here that there is no way that Sir Whitlock stands outside of my gate.
Well, you wouldn't want to lose all your money, would you?
Nor my fingers. You're gonna have to forgive me, Everett, but I still have to check and make sure that each of you are who you say you are. Flares begin to alight from mages on the inside, lighting the night sky. As everyone is illuminated, you can see the man in the distance. He begins to reach out with his hand, and you watch his green scribe begins to form in front of him. You must be willing, each of you. But there are dark creatures about the Eyelit seal, so I need to make sure that none of you are enemies. Submit and bend the knee.
Whatever test is needed. Take a knee.
Sure, I don't see what bending a knee has to do with it, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
The green seal, is it? What is it? Do I recognize it?
You do.
What is it?
You recognize it as that of the Order of the Locket. That of Elmadan. You look up toward this man and you can't help but think that you're in front of a very powerful follower of Elmadan himself, a warlock.
Who maintains a gate? I bend the knee.
Girls?
Take a knee.
Kind of shrugs. If you weren't who you said you are, then you wouldn't have bowed. Open the gates. The gates begin to open. What do you guys want to do? You can begin to head in.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
I will take very particular remembrance of the gate itself, like as we saw it, how it looked, how it presented itself, and then as we were moving past it, if I can look back and see how the mechanism worked and everything else, she seems overly fast.
It's very much, it's very much iron chain and pulley system to just open and shut the wooden doors themselves. The Eyelit seal, you haven't seen it yet. It's basked in darkness.
So this is like just a very
Think of like a
basic-
wooden fort that's on the outside of some
Okay.
landmark. You haven't seen the landmark itself yet.
Okay.
As you begin to head in, you watch as the man himself begins to head his way down. And he comes to you first, Everett, and he's wearing very plain black robes. Tall, human man. Bright blue eyes. Short blonde hair. He almost looks like Everett in a way, but not like they're kin, but they're they're from the same place with the same amount of sun, with the same amount of tan.
Gotcha. Ethnicity wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bows. And then he looks beside you and sees Alex and gives you a squint. I never thought that you would make it outside of the Isle, my friend.
You know, just out looking for my own glory.
Not out here by my own choice. But a choice nonetheless.
Just nods.
I wish we could be here on better news. And I hand him the letter.
You hand it, and over the next half a minute or so, he begins to read it. And then he continuously glances up at that of which you carry. And he nods. If that is who I think it is. And he nods, and he points at two of his men, and then at the body. And they walk over and very kindly, take that. They take it.
I figured you'd probably, well, I figured you wouldn't want her burned with the rest.
I would like to say that it was just a passing fancy, but it wasn't. But, to business. Who is it that you travel with, Sir Everett?
Oh, yes. Pardon me. Introductions. This is, Sir Cedric.
Cedric Chamberlain.
Chamberlain. I kept wanting to say Clementine. That's not right. That's not the whole character. Sir Cedric Chamberlain. Alex Dawnkeeper. Jophiel.
Yes. I.
And these two young ones are Eyelit and Andrea.
Yeah.
In
Sir Chamberlain of Duskendale.
'Tis true.
And he nods. Gives you a bit of a smile. Go ahead. I've been looking to speak with you for some time, Mr. Cedric. But the church keeps telling me that the issues that I've been dealing with, myself and the others of the Yellow Dark Conclave, are warranted and that we should ignore it.
You've piqued my interest now.
That sounds like we've heard that in the last 24 hours.
The Elite Seal has been plagued for the past 8 years by creatures that can take faces of those that we know and love. Dark creatures that stalk the night. Yet we have been told by the church that this is just a passing fancy, that's something that will pass. Yet you're here bringing me the dead body of a woman that I loved. Maybe the church will open its eyes.
I will speak to them.
And he nods. Still in such a day of time with the full lunar eclipse that just happened but hours ago, you are here on my doorstep. The tide seems to be turning. And you arrive with a woman that calls herself Jophiel, like one of the 13.
Exactly like that.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the Eyelit Seal. But he seems almost perplexed when he says this.
I'm sure you're full of questions. If you wouldn't mind putting us up for the night, maybe we could talk about this over breakfast. If the Master of
He
Steel
nods.
is not too busy.
Just because I don't find myself in the Isle of Ophius anymore doesn't mean that I'm not still hospitable. The Dawnkeeper, Master of the Forge, and one of your stature, Mr. Whitlock, is here, then of course. But I want to try something. This is unorthodox, but he turns to the blackness behind him, and he grabs at something toward his chest, and he pulls it free, and it's a medallion, copper medallion, with 4 pillars inside of it. And as he grabs it, he closes his eyes, and he reaches out with one finger, and he begins to write green runes into the air above him. You watch as in the distance, a mountainous-sized structure begins to alight. Seals begin to draw themselves into existence like a mountain lighting up before you. 1 and 2, all the way to 13. When it gets to the 13th, they all kind of coalesce into the center. He takes a breath. Welcome to the Eyelit Seal. I guess that, and then he stops because you hear a rumbling. And then you watch as the first seal, the first medallion that he enacted, begins to break.
That's not good, right?
Does look good.
As it begins to break, each of you watch as dozens of flowers begin to bloom all across the land and around you. But they immediately begin to die and wilt, as if this is a sign of a thwarted renewal. The man turns. You say that. He turns toward you, Sir Cedric, Jophiel, the rest of you.
Lyle.
He just stands silent.
What is happening? Belial? What?
One of the 3 of the light.
He shakes his head no.
Why?
Well, outside the game. It's not a Lyle. It's one of the 13.
Oh, I read it wrong.
You did. So you want to try again?
You said flowers, right?
Flowers that bloom but immediately go dark.
A bloom of flowers across the Lord, each petal. I thought it was a Lyle. I read it wrong. I don't know who it is.
His name is not a Lyle. There's a whole sheet that I gave to you.
This not 6?
Muriel?
Oh, no, you're right. Iliel. Not
Iliel! I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not a
Okay.
Lyle.
Iliel.
You want to try that again?
Iliel.
Let's take a step back, and whenever he says that and everything happens, she says Iliel. Much better. Sorry. Hey, listen, New World, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Cedric, Iliel is one of the 13.
Ah,
Not Eliel, Iliel.
checks out.
I've been trying to enact the seal all night.
Well, you were just missing her, weren't you?
The fact that she speaks the name of one of the 13 means nothing. But the absolute truth that one of the seals is broken means that the death of one of the 13 is just that. They didn't teach you this in Ophius, my friend. Most refer to the Eyelit seal as but one thing. To lock the Titans within their land. You've heard of the war?
Yeah.
It is not that.
Then it is.
A seal. To keep something else at bay. And the first piece has been broken. And you stand here on this night, and you claim your name is Jophiel,
My name is Jophiel.
heiress of Twilight.
I am Jophiel. I know not my surname.
So Cedric, do you acquaint her proclamations?
I do. Wholeheartedly.
Then the voices that came before you are just and true. If you would accompany back to the gate.
Of course.
But what of Iliel?
I have no knowledge of Iliel.
She looks visibly upset.
There's a heavy tension and a lot of unknown. He begins to walk you back toward the gate, leaving behind the body. You go up on the parapet. There's been someone or something for the past several hours speaking in our direction. Over the past 8 years, creatures have been coming closer to the gate, trying to get to the seal. We've reached out to the church, but they tell us not to worry. Yet when we send scouts out, they never return, except for as these creatures, slack-jawed, their hands turn to serrated blades. They drip grease. They smell of sulfuric ash. For the past 8 years, this has been happening. Yet the church doesn't come, Sir Cedric. They leave me here to guard the Eyelit seal itself. These creatures have never spoken to me, except for this night. And he kind of takes you softly by the shoulder and takes you up onto the parapet, Jophiel. And he points out into the darkness. The rest of you follow, and you can see dozens of glowing red eyes out in the distance. Do you know what they've been saying to me?
What have they been saying?
They've been asking me to hand over the heiress of Twilight. All evening.
But why do they ask?
Well, why don't you ask them?
Is there one that's really close?
No, they're all in the
In the
far
far
distance.
dark distance. Well, I had a message.
It's almost like you're gonna have to scream at them.
You really are one of the 13, Jophiel.
Rain begins to fall as he says that. A lightning strike in the distance.
Alex, what have we gotten into?
You are one of the 13. Well, that's not good.
But they were praised for what they've done. Powerful.
Yes, but the 13 only show up when the world needs them. You understand that means something bad is coming.
Means if you're awake,
Something else is about to wake
Something
up too.
cataclysmic
millions
is on the horizon.
Flash of lightning in the
Millions
distance.
are gonna die.
But what does it... What does this mean for here, for now? The creatures of the dark.
I don't know that that's going to be our biggest problem.
As he says that, there's another cavalcade of lightning that shows dozens of those creatures out into the darkness. They all begin to chant that familiar saying.
The...
But there's one above the rest that you can hear screeching through the darkness.
Looking around, how many people does it look like actually registered that voice outside of our immediate
group. So the 6 of us and the guy that
None
the seal.
of the Eladar, neither Master Sealkeepers seem taken aback by that voice.
Fuck.
He stands there stoically. Lorien looks at you. This is the voice that we've been hearing all evening. But he smiles. You have nothing to fear. He steps forward. But you hear it again. Lorien steps to the edge of the parapet, and he reaches down toward his medallion. And you notice this, Sir Chamberlain, and the rest of you, that there are 4 pillars on his medallion.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs it and he begins to write in the air with one finger, his pointer finger that has a nail that is a bit longer than the rest. He begins to write seals. He writes 4 in succession and they come together, and amidst it, an ethereal creature begins to form. As you watch a silver-haired fox form in the shadows before him, and it roars atop the parapet as rain begins to fall heavy. And that's where we will end tonight's session.